Hello, everyone. Hi. It's us. It's a us.
It's a us.
Yes.
It's a us, the natural ones.
It's us.
Yeah.
The only Italian role-playing group on Twitch.
Ever.
You've heard of JRPGs. Well, welcome to IRPGs.
Oh,
Brought to you
IRPG
by
frequently.
Brought to you by Apple Plus TV.
So last week we saw our heroes, our friends, our good people, be able to. I mean, you're all good people.
We're all good
Debatable.
people
I'm so
who
good,
choose
it's
to
like I
do
wasn't
good
even
things.
So we saw them return to Sested, the grand city of Sested, in the country of Grania. But first off, what we wanted to start off with was everybody leveled up to level 7.
Yay!
So we're just gonna do some HP rolls on camera. So I'll go ahead and we'll start with Liam. Go ahead and roll me a D8 plus whatever your Constitution modifier is.
Yes, my Constitution modifier, which is,
I believe it's
and I
1.
already know it. I'm just looking at this for fun. Yeah, it's 1. All right, don't let me down. Please don't let me down, friend. Sublimely average. That's a 5 plus 1, 6. All right.
Nice. Hey. Yeah. All right. So Lolly, do you want to roll or do you want to take a median?
I would like to take the medium,
All
please.
right. You're pretty much the only one that I really have to ask that for. You and Click Whistle.
What does that mean?
The median is when you take the average number, which is 5, for a D8.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically, if you
Instead of rolling. Instead of leaving it to chance.
if you're
I
afraid
have
that you're
never
gonna
leveled
roll
up
bad,
Right.
yeah,
Which
You're scared.
I do
Okay.
every time.
that's right. She joined us after the last time we leveled up.
I have never leveled up before, so
That's great.
I don't know what's going on.
It's great. Chelsea.
Yeah.
Nameless, rather.
Yes.
You and Panther both roll. Yeah. It's in Panther's...
Here's the thing, I'm still
Companion
trying to figure.
guide.
I am trying to figure out how to level up because apparently my hit points are first level.
Level 7.
That should probably just be... It might just be like where the hit points were input. It should always be by quote-unquote rolled HP in the
So
thing.
my hit points went up by 1 point,
Because your Constitution modifier.
so that I hit manage HP and then I add whatever I roll. Is what you're saying?
Correct.
I got you.
You got
Okay.
you.
I probably shouldn't roll, but you know, why not? Come on, 8. That's unfortunate. It's a 3. So 4.
Before... What about per Panther?
A 2.
Well...
Plus
does he
whatever
roll-
it is, but I'm trying.
Does he roll a D8? Look at his...
Oh,
look
golly
at his...
gee, I don't know.
Oh, golly gee.
Look at
I'll
this
give
hit
you a
die.
second.
There's a lot.
Click whistle.
Okay.
So you, as a rogue, will roll a D8,
Yes.
and you'll add your Constitution modifier on top of that.
That's not great.
You can also take the median.
Ooh, it's a 7, so 8.
Great.
So what do I do now?
That should be an edit character, and
Okay.
then you go in and change it to level 7, and it'll be a little HP part right there. You
The
just
HP thing?
Add,
The 8 is to the
add-
HP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Add 8 HP to your. Well, just make sure what your total is first, just in case something goes wrong.
Okay.
Just like write it down, make sure that you have it, so that I've had 1 or 2 times where I've like changed my HP on D&D Beyond, like it had messed up and like brought me back down to like 4 or something like that. So like just be careful. Philip,
All right,
roll that D10 for me,
I
boy.
get a D10
And you also have what, a +2 Constitution?
plus 2 Constitution. Yeah,
Nice.
so I'm at 54. Even if I roll a 0 on this D10 somehow,
I'm adding to my constitution. I have a 0.
it's a 2.
So 4.
Could have done a lot better. Yeah,
Constitution? No.
Yeah.
When we level up to
so I'm gonna go ahead and
add
42 rolled HP.
It's always the danger of the dice.
I should have just taken the medium.
Danger.
Would have got a
about
+8 if I
dice.
took the medium.
I learned
Would've
that
had
the
double.
hard way.
Danger about
She
the
did.
dice.
So it is a D8.
Great.
So
Do
30.
you want to reroll or can I go
plus
save?
eight.
You can re-roll just because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure before you started the roll, so.
Rolled HP.
Yeah, you only add what you
Panther
roll
got
to
an
roll.
8! I'm
This
so
is
proud of
Constitution
him.
modifier.
0.
Okay, then he gets 8. Jesus.
He's
Is it-
never
Yeah.
gonna die. Don't
Mm.
say anything.
Whoa. Yeah, I was like, don't
you said
tempt him
something
like
first. Like, I don't know. Like, I keep getting these hints that you won't.
Damn.
I
do.
said he's never going to die.
So last week on the Natural Ones, our band of adventurers find themselves in a classic pickle. Now that they've
It's too powerful.
now that they've found themselves all the way through the plague marshes, they have to get back out. Klukwhistle volunteers to fly everyone else out, despite the risk of exhaustion. And with the glowing compass in hand, and our friend Nameless as her arachnid alter ego Spider-Me in her pocket, the flight went well, but it did earn our feathered friend 3 points of exhaustion before they returned to the outpost. Once there, they reported to Captain Barrett, telling him of the creatures of the deep marsh as well as Colette's threatened return over some very strong liquor. After staying the night in the soldiers' camp, the group turns homeward to Sisted. At the gates of the city, they gained entry by calling upon their folk hero status. They once did one street performance and that everyone in the city has almost heard of. Before heading home to their magical mansion. Once there, they discussed plans for solving the many problems before them, as Clickwhistle casually mentioned that the mansion has a map of all of the different planes of existence, something she recognized from her time as an interplanar traveler. The group then opened a special door that led to the Expanse, a vast empty space where Philip was able to reach out and talk to his very best friend and patron, ROI.
Oh.
The group must wait for morning before they can begin their tasks, and that's where we'll pick up this week on The Natural Ones.
Yay.
That's beautiful. Good job.
That
Alright.
was beautiful.
That's good. You
That is where we'll begin.
So much.
So please,
Thank you so much.
what would you guys like to do? Again, it's about 3:30 in the morning, so you guys have rested. You guys are, up and at 'em and everything. Or it's 3:30 in the morning in Sisted. It is 3:30 in the afternoon where you guys are currently within the mansion.
Okay. All right. So we have like a whole bunch of people we have to talk to, but that's a tomorrow thing, yeah?
Yes.
All right. I'm not feeling super sleepy. Is anybody else?
No.
No. Could I? Well, actually, you guys could help me. I'm thinking that, since we're going to go fight Kalent, I really want to get like trained up. Like, do we have like a gym or somewhere where you guys can like throw apples at me and I can try to not either stab them or not get hit by
I'll
them?
throw apples at you. That's upstairs.
We do have a lot
Right?
of apples now.
We have
Thanks
so
so
many
much.
apples.
We have
Yeah,
an
we
observatory.
actually have a training room. It's
Okay.
it's actually kind of near your apartment place. So
Great. So good.
It's like a
yeah, cool apartments.
My
We have
loft.
like pads. We hang out.
We just gotta get the key from the landlord and we can let you in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The super. We have to call the super.
It's called the super to let you into the training room.
Exterminator should come once a month, but they don't actually come once a month.
And then when they do come, they don't really do anything. They
Alright,
just kind of
so
show
we
up.
can-
Sort of. Yeah. Do you want to throw some apples
I
at me?
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Let's go.
I would, yeah. It's like such a.
Do I just had an idea and I don't want to forget it, so I was gonna hit the workshop. Do you need everyone throwing apples at you, or is this
No, I think just not even a real handful. Just anyone who wants to do it.
all right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna head to the workshop. If I get my idea figured out sooner than later, I might come by, throw some apples.
Totally.
That does also sound very fun.
It's super fun.
Right.
Okay, so you're going up, and you're going up.
Yeah.
Philip, are you?
How you feeling?
I'm gonna go looking for Trulio.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and go with Liam first, just because he's kind of the closest to his goal. You're going to which?
The
There's a tinker room, and then there's like a smithy.
Yeah, the tinker room.
Okay.
I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm just trying to think of new uses for it.
Trying to put the wheel on new and exciting things.
Yes, more wheels, more places.
At least 2 of them.
Just the one, possibly 2. No, there's no wheels involved in my current project.
No wheels involved.
Yeah, so Liam's gonna get to the workshop and work with. So one thing I've been thinking about a lot with Liam, with the artificer class in general and how like I want to play it is like having these like more of like a tinker thing, because a lot of the way it's written is written like just like you can magic an item to do things. Like, oh, I picked up a rock and I magicked it. Whereas like I think it's a more interesting thing for an artificer to like be using magic and like tinkering gadgets together to make these like infusions or wands and that sort of thing. Which is kind of how I've been playing it. So I've been trying to think of like ways to justify that in game, and I thought the best way to justify Liam's turning a like flask or mug into an alchemy jar would be like some sort of like minor like teleportation thing. So like it's not making liquor out of the air, it's just pulling liquor from like a large barrel he has at home or something like that. So using that idea and that technology, I'm having Liam work on making Boots of the Winding Path is one of my infusions.
Okay.
And so what I think, because you can travel 15 feet to a place you've already been, it'll work kind of like
It's how he's manipulating space.
yeah, but specifically
Volume.
I think it's gonna work kind of like in Overwatch. Who's the Overwatch character who can like drop a thing, run ahead, and then teleport back to it?
Sombra?
Yeah, he's basically gonna do that. So he'll have like something in his boots that will let him teleport to something. But like so as he goes, he like whatever. Like as he steps, he can like trigger by like raising his big toe or something. Like one of the teleport things to like drop in a place he's been, travel ahead, and then as a bonus action, he can like use the teleportation thing in the other boot to like warp back to the place he was at. So that's what he's trying to make.
Great. Like something like that is certainly, you know, even with his artificer training and everything, and Yvonne's there too, and so you step into the room and she sort of like seems to be working on something. And hi, how can are you guys back officially?
Right. For now, I had an sorry I can't. I had an idea. I need to like write it down before I forget.
Oh, okay.
You know?
She like starts to scoot her stuff to like you have like a third of the desk.
Yeah. I start pulling up papers and drawing diagrams. And I'm like, actually, can you take a look at that for me? See if the math
Could you
plays out.
set it, yeah, sure. Just set it over there.
Right. Set that there, and I start working on the next one until I get feedback from her, and like.
So she starts to work on her own. Like as she's working on her own, she kind of like sets it down for a minute and looks over your stuff. And over the next few hours, you and her kind of diligently work. And she has toyed with some of this stuff as well, and seen some previous blueprints of things that work in a similar fashion. But your specific like toe, you know, like stuff down the heel or something like that. Like
Yeah.
she's helping you differentiate like weight and how that would actually attribute it to the activation, and not just like, oh, if I'm taking a random step, is it going to activate?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like your next 8 hours is sort of hanging with her and making this device
Yeah.
and testing it. And
I think also like this. So the particular infusion I'm replicating here requires attunement. So I feel like me getting used to not just hitting the buttons randomly would almost be like me getting attuned to it.
right, yeah, it's something that's like it's all about it's the Iron Manning of it, where it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, this is test number 1, seeing if this actually works. You may have almost lost a finger or two in the process, just by random happenstance. But everything worked out fine. And as you guys keep working on it, she sort of like ditches her other projects for a little while and like starts to get obsessed with your thing too. And between the two of you, you also feel like you grew in that instance, because there's a lot of reading that you had to do on top of that. You had to like really focus your efforts, and so you feel like this is really important, and it's not just a random thing you made. It's the thing that you can remember how to do. You know how to do this. You spent enough time on it that it's yours.
Awesome.
Yay.
Philip, to find Trulio is not hard. He's in his little bed by the fire.
Just gonna start petting him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he kind of like, as you come by, his tail is just... And you sit with him and you kind of pet him a little while, and he's very calm with it. He's not too hyperactive of a dog, so he's He's into it.
That's fair.
Flanagan is standing there too as well, just sort of his stalwart stance by the fireplace.
Being Flanagan.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Ash.
Yeah, I'm gonna take him to just go up to the training ground. I think.
Take
Training room.
Trulio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just go. Up
No,
here.
that's
Yeah.
fine. I just wanted to make sure that's who you meant. Yeah, go ahead and give me an animal handling check. Let's see if he actually like responds well to.
It's a 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't whip.
he's like you kind of come on, Trulio, and he gets up lazily, but he gets up. You kind of follow them shortly behind up the stairs, spiral staircase through the research laboratory, and you come out to a sort of a it's about like a 50 by actually no, it's 60 by 60 room. It has this upper landing for about 5 feet of that on all sides. So it's just this little strip, and your staircase comes out in the center of this room. Everything outside of that little landing is like a sand pit. Like a gladiatorial coliseum sand pit, where it's just sort of like it's a thin layer of I don't know what kind of sand they used for that, but it's just like it's
Grippy sand.
yeah, just kind of traction.
This place is dope.
Warm lighting. The lighting in all the spaces has changed slightly. Instead of like this like semi-clinical, very white light, everything is kind of turned into a golden, like orange hue.
Take a selfie. It's great lighting.
It's beautiful lighting.
What would you like? And as you guys step out into the pit, you see in front of you a large form appear. This large like clay mass. It has like vague proportions of a humanoid body, but it's about like 10 feet tall.
Is this the same thing we fought way back when? Not
Well,
this guy again.
It's just standing.
Yeah.
Who's that?
He's a thing that we once fought in this room.
And now he's just like hangs out in the room?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, if I can recall, I don't think he bothers us if we don't bother him, but I'm gonna have to check my notes on that one for you,
No, you don't have to check. Yeah.
right? Yep, just kidding, I don't have to check my notes, I know that for sure.
Okay.
Great memory, you know.
How would you guys like to train together? What's the sort of
Well,
thought here?
when I on my level up, I get evasion. So I really want her to get like, the reason I wanted to train was to get her like super dexy. Like I just wanted to like try out like, you know, avoiding things and knocking things away, and
She bringing Dexy back.
she bringing Dexy back.
I'll throw some radiant sunbolts at you.
Yeah.
I'd like to throw apples.
All right. Yeah. No,
I'm
that's
sorry,
all.
that wasn't in character, sorry, hold on. I'll throw some radiant sunbolts at you.
Sure. That's great. Yeah. I like the stakes.
But I need you to throw fireball at me,
Oh, okay.
unless you don't have it anymore.
I always have fireball,
Great.
I could throw knives.
but I might be able to do something better in a second if I look at it. Like something, but I'll look at it in a moment.
She's not fireball.
Yeah, it was like, does she just have fireball as a cantrip? What the fuck? Like, how did that happen?
She's talking about produce flame.
level.
Okay, that's a very
She's
different
talking
thing.
about produce flame.
Okay,
She's talking about
Yeah.
a fire that's in a ball shape
Yeah.
that she throws.
That she can wipe.
okay, because I was like, what the fuck?
Not the thing that got used against you. So, I mean, I don't think that too many roles right now, just because this is a lot of you guys working together and sort of the clay humanoid like golem type creature just watches in a sense. Like it just stands there and
I
is
want to name him Clay.
cool.
Clay Clay
And when
Aiken.
we beat him up,
Clay
he's aching.
Aiken.
Clay aching.
He's Clay Aiken.
You gotta admit, that needs some art.
You're welcome.
And
Well,
Harsh,
they
but
finished
fair.
that one
That's
too.
fair.
So the process you guys are kind of going through, and eventually Philip and Trulio, and a very like Flanagan, like very struggling extremely hard to get up the spiral staircase.
With his
Gets through-
antlers.
Yeah, he's just like.
you had it carved out for him when you were doing your sledding or whatever.
I wasn't on that staircase.
Oh.
No, this is the
I was
spiral.
like, I heard
Oh,
sledding, and I was
I
like,
did
yes,
say-
Philip,
oh.
slut it up.
I did say.
So you guys, it's a lot of between the two of you, kind of.
Who's
Yeah.
on first?
Okay, get me.
There's times where you catch each other. There's times where you try to catch each other off guard, and you kind of come in at random moments and just throw apples. So it's like, it is one of those things where it's a random thing where while she's trying to dodge a sunbolt, you throw an apple at her, and she has to dodge that too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot about this training, and you start to take into that too. You start to copy these movements and see how you can utilize them yourself. And through it all, again, it's a couple hours maybe of training, maybe like 2 or 3 hours worth.
Cool.
Of just of physical, just
I feel like we're in shape.
making
Yeah.
sure that you guys
Who
can
better
do
take
this
that?
thing, and the repetition of physical activity, the repetition of
Yeah,
like physical
it's a little
movement.
sore. It's fine.
Got one huge throwing arm.
And through this, you guys kind of feel that like maybe if we kept doing this, there's some form of maybe we could get something out of this too, like outside of just these ideas that we have for ourselves. Maybe if we were training together like this routinely, maybe we would have better battle tactics. Maybe we would know more things. Maybe it's sparking a few ideas for you in terms of combinations that you can make with each other.
I'm just imagining me just carrying apples around, be like, I got it, guys.
That was a special move.
I cast enlarge on the apple midair.
That's
Actually-
certainly a special move.
Pumpkin-sized
Because
apple.
technically, if we think about the physics of it, it's just growing in size. It would keep its velocity because it's not.
Have Panther
Slowing
like jump out of a
down.
tree like above them,
Oh.
and then just enlarge Panther.
Whoa.
It's
This
a
is
lot.
not
There is a lot to be said about
Can
enlarging
I
an
actually
apple.
end up picking up enlarge?
I would
thought
also
about
like
it. I
to
think you
go.
I can. I don't know if I can do it.
I'd also like to go to the library at some point.
Sure. Again, I'm saying it takes about 2 to 3 hours. He's taking 8. That's basically his entire time allotment before people will be up and at it. That's kind of why I was saying 8. Was that you guys have about 8 hours, so this takes up about 3 for you 3, and I guess if you're going to watch the whole time, 3 for you as well.
So I'm thinking while I'm watching.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna start kind of like not fully casting a spell, but I'm just gonna like be kind of like reaching into just like kind of like the spells that I'm sort of like familiar with and kind of like trying to like get a handle on that energy and that vibe, I guess.
Are you trying to project something like that?
I'm not trying to project. I'm trying to like figure out in the way that like we've reached out and felt like the lodestones and stuff before. I'm trying to go like, what does this magic feel like?
Mm-hmm.
And like what is the wavelength of these kinds of things, more or less. So I think I'm gonna spend like the first hour probably just kind of like playing with that and trying to go like, if I close my eyes, like, can I figure out like this is where in space, like this is the space that the magic is occupying or whatever. This is
Yeah.
what that's doing.
Sweet.
So I'm just kind of like on like a thought process.
Yeah. It's just some sort of train that you're trying to get through, and
Yeah.
I'm into it.
And I rolled a 19 on that, so I'm feeling.
Yeah,
Damn.
I mean it's an
Okay.
Arcana check, so
So it's an 18 after my.
18. You have a hard,
Bonuses.
yeah. It's like you have a hard time kind of wrapping your head around some of the complexities of it, but the lucky thing is that you've felt it before. You've had these feelings, like you've been able to access this before, and through ROI, you do know that you can access parts of these things. So it's something that there's a moment where what she said to you is kind of taking over too. Is the idea that I don't have to fully understand this thing, but if I can see it and I can feel it, then maybe that's enough. Like maybe that is something that is helpful. And that kind of actually helps you in the end, especially with that role. Like you start to actually, that is the thing that makes it easier every time. Is that when you stop preoccupying yourself with the idea of why is this happening or what is this thing, and just that it exists at all.
You said this is what it is. Like this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you find that a lot easier. It still takes you some time, and it's still taking effort, but it's one of those things where, yeah, as soon as you kind of lose that idea, it clicks easier. And you feel like you could keep this up and you could maybe learn something from this.
Yeah. So that's probably what I do for like the first hour.
Okay.
Because I'm just trying to like get a hold of that.
Mhm.
And then when I've got that down, I want to... Well, Liam's busy. So I want to ask Nameless to help with something in that case.
So after about an hour of throwing apples, Phil kind of comes over and
Can you just make some... Produce Flame counts as like a spell, right? Like the cantrip counts
it's a
as like a spell.
cantrip, yeah.
Okay. Can you just make some flame real quick?
I've
And
never
just-
heard
just
so
hold
in
it?
demand, yeah.
I just want to kind of like feel and see if like I can pick that up. If I can get like a sense of that like in space.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a
Space check.
Is that love?
I'll say
Because it's not coming from me right now, but it's,
no,
yeah.
but I'll
Take my
say
stick out of our-
give me a wisdom check.
I play baseball.
It leaves it alone.
Not any skill, just
That's just a
wisdom.
7. Yeah.
You're finding it a lot harder when it's not coming from you. When it's
Okay.
not like when you're not directly influencing the energy, it's a lot harder for you to kind of like pinpoint just as yourself.
Can you throw it at me?
Yeah.
Super into that.
She's really into throwing things.
Yeah. I've just been working out real hard.
Alright.
Flame ball. Flame
Just
ball.
throw it. Okay.
Limbo.
So she
Does that
throws-
make it a saving throw?
Because
Sorry.
what I'll say is because you are willingly taking it in a sense,
Okay.
but you're trying to do what you're trying to do,
Yeah.
I'll make it a saving throw.
Okay.
Wisdom. Because it's just
Jesus.
like, you know.
That's a 7? Or no, that's a 9. Yeah. 7 was my bonus.
So it certainly hits you.
Okay.
What were you trying to do there?
I'm trying to get a good enough hold of what that feels like to be able to try and minimize it, more or less.
Gotcha.
To try and ward it off.
You don't feel like you did it.
Like
Okay.
noise
You-
canceling headphones for magic.
Yeah.
You feel like
Sick.
you know what you're trying to do, and you know how it's felt
Liam has a
before.
new invention idea.
And again, when it was you could totally do it. When it was projected outwards, there
I'm
was
trying to-
something limiting to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to feel that and like cut it off, like not physically, but just like meet that energy.
It seems
vibe
like
space,
it
you
seems
just kinda
like
like
what you're.
cut
What
it.
I'll say is, after a few times of doing this, of her kind of like hitting you and you kind of taking this hit, you get this momentary like, why am I not? And there's something that clicks where you realize that it's like, oh, I'm trying to individually detect this one thing coming at me when I should just project it. When I should just push it out. you're again, it's a singular focus. You're like, I know this thing, when instead it should be a mask. It should be something that is projected at all times. It's one of those things where it's like, instead of a focused beam, you just kind of.
Okay, I got an idea. I'm gonna basically kind of what I do with like Channel Divinity, just like that sort of strength that I summon when I channel Divinity. I'm gonna just kind of like focus that on the holy symbol on the shield, and I'm just gonna kind of like try to mass it there, and then just like without releasing it, just sort of like just spread it out
Sure.
and just kind of like
Go ahead and give
Yeah,
me.
I'm just gonna try
give
to
me a, I'll say another wisdom sort of like ability check. So, but I'll say that you can put your proficiency with this
okay.
because it's in a similar fashion to your first aura, your aura protection.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like it's in a similar fashion to that. So like you kind of already know the pathways. So
Okay.
wisdom plus proficiency. As she throws them over.
So is it still saving or no? No. Is it?
No, just wisdom.
Just wisdom proficiency? Okay, so that's 11.
It's essentially the same thing. It's not a saving throw.
Okay.
We basically made it the same. But you said, what's the number?
It's 11. It would have been a 14 if it was a saving throw.
I guess I already did. Yeah, okay, never mind.
Because I'm proficient in wisdom save, so I already get my proficiency.
Right,
there
right.
anyways.
I'm sorry. Yeah, then 14. We'll say 14. That's fine.
Okay.
That dice is sick.
This time
Yeah.
your
Oh.
your warding
Just you.
takes hold. What happens?
I'm basically just trying to make it so that in order to get to me, it has to like get through that sense basically. Like it has to get through like the divine field more or less. Is my thought. So it's expending some of its energy just in making it.
The aura of warding that you're talking about.
Yes.
It does what?
It provides let me get the exact wording. It's resistance to damage from spells.
That's what I was trying to remember.
Yes.
I was.
It's resistance to damage.
It as the flame hits you, and through the shield, through the projection, and through this new sort of like, it has to be all around me at all times. You see it pass through your aura, and as it hits you, you can't tell necessarily at what stage it lost power, but it did. It certainly hit you for less than it has the past 4 or 5 times. And it's not just like well, maybe it hit me less. It's like, no. Very clearly, the magic faded as it was hitting you. You feel like you got it. You feel like you understand how to manipulate the energy that you need to achieve what you're trying to do.
Okay.
It'll take a little bit more time to like get it for sure, but
That's great.
Okay. Cool.
Really cool. Do you want to go? Since you
I would like to go to the library, please.
So you're in there. It's its normal state. It's the 2 floors, rows of books, things. There's the pylon on the 2nd floor with the glass cases surrounding it. What would you like to look for?
I want to see if there's any books on the society that Terry had mentioned, that like the symbol that was on his.
Sure.
So I'm assuming I have to do a perception check?
It's an investigation check. Perception check would be like,
Oh,
I'm looking
yeah.
around a room. Investigation is you're actually physically going through each title to find the thing that you want.
That's a 6.
Altogether?
Yep. I find nothing.
I mean, it's an expansive library. Like this. I'm saying this check is at least an hour.
Yeah.
You search through. You get lost a few times just in kind of like reading something, and it's like, is this even? God, this isn't even what I I want to find. I spent 20 minutes on that. Like, you are very clearly not finding the thing that you want to find. You may attempt again, but it's another hour to attempt.
Yeah, why not? What do I have to lose? We got 8 hours, right?
You got a while.
That is 17.
17. Okay. Searching around. This is much more fruitful in the sense that you're finding more things that talk about organizations, that talk about anachronistic organizations, things that have arcane nature, things that like one or two mentions of Dracarius as well, but it's more in passing. It's kind of more about like some of his greatest feats. Like he saved an entire city once. He also was able to save Mount Coriander from actually exploding. He was able to prevent it. So just some of those kind of base level things, but you don't find anything else about a specific organization that dealt with the protection of like ancient technology.
Okay.
Can I get a perception check from you though?
Yeah. Need it to recognize my face.
I'm not finding it.
That hit the dice. That would be 12.
Oh. As you're moving around and you're kind of like experiencing all these books and you're putting them on the tables and you're kind of flipping through them all, there's a moment where you feel a slight rumbling in your like backpack or whatever you get, like your satchel, whatever your purse situation is.
Mm-hmm.
You feel it kind of.
Great, I would like to figure out what that is, please.
As you
For $500.
open it up and dig through a little bit, the journal is rumbling. The journal of Dracarius.
I forgot I still have that with me. Yeah, I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna.
Thank God you put it on vibrate.
You don't see
Seriously.
any other additional entries beyond what you have.
It's not like glowing or anything. It's just literally shaking. Like there is.
It's just like as soon as you touch it, it kind of you're just kind of vaguely just vaguely rumbling in your hands as you hold it.
Just happy to see you.
Wagging its tail.
I would like to speak to it. I don't know if that's gonna work. In Draconic.
Okay.
What are you trying to show me?
It like pull your arms to the right.
I'm gonna let it like lead me.
As you start walking forward, as you kind of go towards the northern end of the library, a few steps later, the book starts to pick up in vibration.
You're dowsing. Your book dowsing.
I'm staring at books.
Mm-hmm.
So can I just kind of like move it around till it like?
As you move it towards the ground, it shakes less. As you move it up, it shakes more and more. As you get really close to the top, it seems to be shaking. Not violently, but it's certainly like.
So I guess move it to the right and the left, I guess, to see.
It
which
doesn't
one, like...
change in vibration as you move to the left and the right, but it's still just pointed. It's almost directly vertical as it gets to this strength.
What are the books up there?
They are slightly just. They're mostly the same in the respect of like. They are research notes, or they are passages of fairy tales and things about the Feywild.
I need. I feel like I would take all of that down because you said like it doesn't change.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. Like as you're pointing, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't change in its vibration as you do that.
Then I would probably just take all of them down and search through all of them.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check with advantage.
17.
Nice. Okay. Kind of feeling as though you have a directory, right, towards these books in particular, you spend a bit more time with it and kind of look through carefully. And as you read a passage through one of the books,
The title.
I read all fuck.
it's just the thing. I typed it up and it didn't go to my phone correctly. So
It says something. It says something real good, and
it does, and I need you to know it. Shit.
It's pertinent
Um,
information.
We'll figure out what that is right after this commercial break.
No, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's a passage in a book. It is of Fables of the Feywild.
Cool.
And I won't say anything specific because I'll send you the specifics. But it kind of just deals with the idea of what it used to be, what it became, and the line between wanton chaos and semi-directed chaos, where what the Feywild used to be was this idea of just like pure wanton, just whatever, do whatever you want, be whatever you want, you have all of the power. But that was kind of what it instilled, was not so much that the most powerful person gets to decide all the rules, just more that the cleverest person gets to decide all the rules. The thing that like is the quickest, or the thing that is the best at the thing that it is,
Mm-hmm.
get to dominate that thing.
That sounds like someone we know.
And so
Sitting in a tower.
Being a
what it became was eventually this idea of like, well, why don't we cultivate the best in these things and then let it out?
Mm.
And so there in that passage seems to be a handwritten note on top of that.
Yes.
And as you're scanning through it, the note itself disappears from the book and reappears in the journal.
Yay! What does it say?
That's also part
Yay!
of the
I'll find out later after this commercial break.
But yet again, it's essentially that what you're gleaming from this passage from Dacarius is that the purpose of the organization is to prevent a similarity of this idea from the Feywild to appear in the material. A lot of the ancient technology, like in the passage, it kind of talks about how a lot of ancient technology is actually from a time from before Mistra and before ROI and before all this planar binding. And so it comes from areas that were manipulated several thousand times over and continue to have that power. They continue to rest within that ability. So many pieces of ancient technology actually give you the power of like demigods, kind of a thing. Like it's what amounts to that. And the whole idea is the policing and the not destruction of these items, because there is inherent neutrality to all of this technology. But the last thing that's said in this passage is that it's like, this will be the only thing that I write about the organization I've written, that I've like created, because part of its strength is in its secrecy.
read that book.
Great. So
Sorry, I didn't have the real thing.
No.
I thought I put it on my phone correctly, and I didn't. And
That's
I
okay.
feel stupid that I don't have it.
That's okay. I'll
It's
get
kind of the week I've been having. It's been a really really busy one. So
Well, I'm gonna clean up. I'm gonna put everything back because
Sure.
I'm cool like that.
and as the passage is written in the book, it stops
I was
stops
gonna say, I
vibrating.
assume
It's
it's-
you kind of
I don't think I've ever looked through the book, like through the diary. So I don't think I'm gonna stay in the library. I do think I'm gonna go check on the babies,
mhm.
and then I do think I want to go through that book, like go through
Well, the journal doesn't
journal.
have any other writing besides what ends up filling pages, right? Like it hasn't ever had writing outside of when you guys have placed it places and
Yeah.
it gains writing. So that entry
Dang,
ends in blank.
I wasn't sure if there was more because
No,
I was like, I don't
that's
think
it.
I've looked through it. Oh, then never mind. But I would like to leave.
You
that
want to
there.
go check up on the babies.
Yeah.
That is totally true. That is totally possible.
Yeah.
Nails?
Okay, I have one question. One, what day of the week is it? Like, what is the date? And two, is there ever a time that the two moons are full together?
Yes. To the second question, yes, there is a time when both moons would be full at the same time.
Is it that now? Because it's just
No, it's not now.
Okay.
But
Um,
I'll have to do some. I'll have to do some more calculations to make sure
I don't
when it
think
would
so.
happen, like when you would know it would happen. But it doesn't happen. It's not infrequent. Probably, and this will be. Maybe I'll take this back, but like magically speaking, let's just say fuck it. I always kind of thought that they would have at least done it at least twice a year. Twice a
Okay.
year, they probably would end up on the same schedule.
Okay. Well, so then I'm
Roughly.
roleplay wise not gonna do what I'm saying. So what is the date?
Today is the 43rd day of. I mean, I do have these notes, so we're good. This is the 43rd day of Elithril, which is the 5th month of the year,
Okay. So
which means 43. 12. It is the day of Alar.
what is that?
Monday.
It's the 5th day of the
Oh,
week.
oh. I was like, wait. I was like,
It's
no.
Monday.
It
The
sounds.
the 5th day of the week is Alar.
Okay, that's fine. That's that part. Cool.
How many days are in a week?
7.
Oh, okay, so it's like Friday.
There's 55 days in pretty much
It's
every
Shabbat.
month.
Sick.
55 or
I light
54
some candles. I light
days
some
in
kava.
the 7 months that make up the Lorethian calendar.
Cool. So I'm just gonna make up something role playing wise because I'm gonna make it up
That
now.
means a year is still around the same amount of days as ours.
Correct.
Oh.
There's about 382.
So while I'm tossing apples and fireballs, not fireballs.
That is my favorite sentence.
When you said that, she's like, "Do you have fireball?" I was like, "Does she just have fireball?" It's a really scary spell.
Don't
You should not have that as a cantrip.
But while I'm doing that, I want to feel like this like heaviness from the wolf from my necklace, and now you all know what day of the week it is. What is today's date?
In real life or the game?
The game.
Okay.
What is today's? Oh, you're not
I'm
there
not
anymore.
here anymore.
What's today's date?
Why? It's the day of Alar.
Thank you. I meant like what day of the
Today's day. Today's
what day of
date.
the year is it?
What?
Is there a calendar, like something calendar-y?
You know what? In the living room, sure. There
Okay.
is a marker for the days of the year.
I'm gonna
I
run.
made it with my
Yvonne
fingers.
probably
down.
manages it.
That's
Yeah.
kind of honestly that was
Yeah.
kind of what I was thinking. It was like she
Yeah.
probably actually would have something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run on the stairs
Mm-hmm.
and see what the day is, and I'm gonna go to the door and turn it to the forest.
Mm-hmm.
This might be so stupid. I'm really scared I'm gonna get stuck in here, but I'm gonna shut the door behind me.
Okay. The door doesn't disappear as you turn the knob to make it the forest. the evergreen, I believe is what we called it, stepping through. It is just now becoming like you're seeing through the canopy of trees that kind of take up the entirety of the space. You are able to see this sort of pink, rosy beginnings of dawn.
Okay, so then I gotta hurry. Alright, so I'm gonna take my dagger out and cut my hand.
Okay.
And then I want to go to one of the trees and hold with my other hand the wolf and
The wolf pendant that you have?
Yes.
Yeah.
from the Wolfhaven clan to the nature of the world, I give you my blood as you give me yours. It is then I imagine that the wild will tell me a fourth spell level. But
You have a new slot.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm imagining.
Girl, enjoy the slot.
Hey girl, maybe get fireball.
But
She can't.
so, and then, I want to take with my hand. I don't know how this is gonna work. I'm gonna like dip my thumb in the blood from my hand, and say, across my cheek for Herrick, across my other cheek for Panther, and then across my forehead for my mother. And then I just chill outside for a little while. And talk to my mom. I know she can't hear me, but
As you place your blood on the tree, it's and you go through the rest of your. I don't want to call it a ritual, but I would.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but essentially, and sit with the tree, or just kind of sit in this little clearing. There is a moment about 5 minutes later that you do feel the wind pick your spot. It's not moving through the trees, it's your clearing. It's this feeling of you've called to nature, nature has responded. It is very clearly listening to not your demands, but just sort of to you. And you feel eerily at home. Not home like Rethalor. Home in a different space. Home in a way that just feels as if something was trying to seep into your mind, but couldn't. And it just feels connected. The grass doesn't move the same way that it does other places. It's dancing. It seems as though each blade moves with its own rhythm. The trees each creak as many as 10 words, with no wind moving through them. The place feels alive in a way that Herrick used to make things alive.
oh, now I don't know who it is. Though. This is a weird question. Does it feel more like a feminine energy or a masculine energy?
It drifts. It's not one singular.
Mm-hmm.
It just drifts. A gentle breeze feels masculine, and the creaking of the trees feels feminine, and each blade of grass has its individual identity, that kind of thing.
I don't know if that's you, Mom. I promise I didn't forget. I made friends. I never thought I'd say that. And I was just having a good time. I promise I didn't forget you. Yeah. I love you still. I love you and I miss you. And I'm taking everything that you taught me about how to be a good person. I may not know everything. But you live through me. Oh, and if you can maybe like send some help. I'm trying to find Eric. You remember him? He's gone also. I just could use a family. And these people are the closest thing I have. And I'm sorry that I am late and I almost forgot, and I'm sorry.
Feeling persists. But you're not feeling anything particularly strong, in the sense of nothing as strong as a distinct conversation to you. Things seem to listen to you, the surroundings seem to listen to you, but nothing seems to be in a conversation with you.
I don't know, I'm not really good at words. So I'm just gonna sit here with whatever you are. Maybe you're not my mom. I don't know, I just kinda hoped you were. And I don't wanna believe it's Herrick because I don't know what that means. And I can't. I can't lose both of you. I'm just gonna sit there.
How long do you want to stay there?
I'm gonna watch the sunrise.
About an hour then.
Okay.
Yeah. To get it to like a reasonable, like, okay, the sun's out.
I also realize I'm still naked, but
Oh yeah. That whole
That's
fine.
montage, huh?
Yeah, the whole apple throwing, the whole everything.
Yep, I
The best part is none of us have questioned
I
it.
know,
Like,
you
Not
were
a
so
single
supportive.
Yeah.
we were all just like, yeah, girl,
Yeah.
live your life.
I'm not gonna say it's a little chilly out there, but you manage.
Well,
She has a shawl.
You have the. I think that's it for everybody, right? That's everything everybody kind of wanted to do before the necessary.
There's one more thing I want to do. Once my boots are done, I
Want
want
to make them for walking.
So Liam, I want to go out, go seemingly inconspicuous. They're like, what Liam believes is inconspicuous, not super excited, and find the first person he can in the
Okay.
in the mansion. Just wander around, see the first person he can
The
find.
first person he would find Well, what would you have done after the training?
Uh,
Gone to your loft?
maybe I haven't really explored the house much, so I think I'm probably just poking around places. Like I'd probably go back, like, cause the training ground is in a separate.
Top floor,
It's across the bridge from your
across
loft, yeah?
the bridge from your
It's-
loft.
Okay, so it's up. It's up. Okay,
Yeah.
so like, but it's conjoined. It's not like a different building than
It's the
the house.
same. It's the same building as the house. It's just the top floor.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go down and like explore like when Nameless went running out. I'd probably want to see what she was gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, you see her go through the door,
I'm like, well,
and then yeah, I mean, you've passed through the research laboratory as well. There's like a giant Tesla pylon type thing on the second floor. There's also a giant vault, like mechanism that you can see. You can see a big safe in the back, like south end of the research laboratory.
I could fucking pick a lock. I could try to open that safe.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm
Go ahead.
curious.
And, yeah, go ahead and give me a thieves' tools.
Okay. Okay. I will. If there's like a monster behind it, I swear to God. Ooh, it's a natural 19, so it's
Yeah,
plus
you
11.
yeah, that's one of your expertise skills.
Yeah.
Like, I do not need you to.
It's 30, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. You roll a 2 and it's already like
But yeah.
maybe.
Maybe it works. I
Um,
spin the thing and it opens.
mhm. There's a you kind of step up and you kind of like size it up. It's a large vault. It's not anything to snuff at. It's something. This circular mechanism itself is about 5 feet wide, just in itself. Like not 5 feet wide, but like all together, it's this giant sort of wheel, and you see 3 different lock mechanisms for it. The door is this massive, like, you have to cart it aside. You put your ear up, and as you kind of get the locket, you know, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is fucking nothing. This is like, this should get oiled up. Like, this is not a good boat. I can get this no problem. This one's even just unlocked anyway. What the fuck? Does nobody know how to close locks?
What is the point of having a huge safe if you're not even going to lock with a third safety lock? I mean, come on.
This is not even fun. It's like, by the end of it.
I was looking for a challenge.
You spin the. I need to know what that thing is called. The actual mechanism.
Like a dial?
There's tumblers. Well, no, tumblers are inside. Like
The
Yeah,
tumblers are
tumblers
inside.
you have to pick.
Yeah, that's the actual part of the lock. I'm talking about like the actual just like the
Do
winch
Like a
thing.
handle.
Oh.
Yeah, like the
That,
big.
like, oh yeah, because like, everybody loves
Yeah.
the wheel of fortune. And
Yeah.
so you spin that,
Not
you
bad.
spin the wheel and open up the door. It's a little heavy for you, and so
Yeah.
like you kind of like have to put your whole effort into opening it.
Am I still exhausted?
Technically at this point, yes.
Oh.
You need like
Google shows up
wait,
with nothing.
no, you guys got the last rest you needed to yeah. You
Oh, good.
you
I was
actually.
like, I can't remember if
As I recall, you got the last
What's
rest
it
you
called?
needed.
Okay, great.
That's
I
what I'll say
will
anyway.
take it because I think, yep, I still had like points of exhaustion. There
Yeah,
we go.
it's fine with
I
me
mean, we're
because
home.
you guys are home.
We're
You guys
home.
aren't like you guys have rest involved as well.
That was my
Yeah.
hip.
So you open it. It is this massive like 30 by 30 vault, and as you step inside, there's nothing. It's completely empty. The light from the outside is like pushing
I was gonna
into
say, you're
it,
gonna be so
and as it
weird.
pushes into it, you start to notice things on. You see like these deep gouge, like claw marks in the floor, in the ceiling, on the walls.
Surprise.
You see these just sort of like parts of the stone metal that is this vault that are like cut into by these like massive, like 3-inch wide grooves. And they're all haphazard, so you can tell that it's not a design. It is very clearly something that got put here.
But there's nothing in there now?
There's nothing in there now.
Is that where I find her?
That is indeed where you find her.
I
Well, you see Setlali first, because Setlali is. No, wait, no, Setlali would be by the babies by now. By the
Yeah.
time
Are
you're
they
done
not
with your
in?
stuff.
Are they not there with her?
Are they not
Aren't
in
they
the
always with her?
No.
Aren't they always with Yvonne at this point?
No, you're in the bedrooms.
Aww.
They would have been down by the
Are they
kitchen.
taking a
They love the
nap?
kitchen. The kitchen is their favorite place.
Look, they can have whatever they
Because they
want.
love food.
I was
Like,
gonna say, they can eat
it's not
whatever
that
they want.
cute, It's just the fact that like they just love food.
They can eat whatever they want if it makes them
Oh
happy.
my god, you're the worst mother.
I'm not.
They're all huge now. They're all just round.
They've only
I was
been done-
joking. They're like we're like actually 80 because we've been.
So
He's
sorry.
an old man.
Yeah, technically, Click Whistle is the first person you would see.
All right. If you,
I mean, I mean, like, and Philip and Trulio. I don't know. Actually, yeah, her. I'm gonna say her.
all right. So she's while she's like horrified looking at the thing.
You're gonna very casually, quote unquote, walk
Yeah.
up.
I think what I want to do is I want to like see her at the door. I want to like. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Is there only one entrance into the research place?
Yes.
Okay.
No, sorry. No, there are two. There's the circular stair, and then there's also the door to the side that like leads out to the separate tower.
Okay. Which way am I entering from?
I would imagine the easiest and most straight path for you would have been the circular staircase.
Okay. I'm gonna go down the staircase like, oh, Click Whistle, you found
Up
our
staircase.
up. Okay.
Yes, third.
I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna pop up as I come up the staircase. Oh, Click Whistle, you found the very creepy vault. That's great. I'm gonna walk out the door.
So let me unfortunately step into your plan a little bit. So the way it works, first floor is the shop, the tinker shop, the smith, the living room, the foyer, the dining room, the courtyard, the astronomy tower that's all the way up there.
Yep.
There's also a second tower over here. There's also the dungeon, like jail cell right over here.
I like this.
So, second floor, up the staircase from the living room is the bedrooms. From the bedrooms, the circular staircase exists, and you go up into the research laboratory. The vault is on the second floor of the research laboratory, so you have to go up the stairs, past the Tesla coil thing to get to the vault, and that's where you see.
If only you
What
had
I need
boots.
is to be able to enter from one side and exit the other.
You can totally do that.
Great. I'm gonna enter from one side, get Click Whistle's attention. Oh, you found the creepy vault. That's weird. I'm gonna exit. I'm gonna teleport back. I'm gonna do the exact same thing I just did. Oh, Click Whistle, you found the creepy vault. That's weird. Head down. Like I just want to. Yeah, and then I head. So you've just seen me walk by, say the exact same thing, and as close as I could get to the same thing twice.
What?
Go ahead and give me a performance check.
All right. I'm good at these, he said, lying.
He said, fully erect.
Now that's a performance check.
That's a performance.
Yeah. It's also a constitution
Okay.
check.
That's a 5. So I feel like I'm giggling as I do it. Like the second time I come in, I'm like, oh, Click Whistle! I see you found our creepy vault. That's neat. Walk off the second time, like,
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh no.
Or insight. Give me an insight,
Insight?
check. Yeah. Yeah. Because you're trying to decipher if you can. I'm trying to see if you can like see through his. If you think, yeah. Go ahead.
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
12. I mean, 11.
So like, you very clearly hear him laugh, and then come up to you and say the exact same thing that he said before, but it was very, very quick. So that's the thing that's weird. Is just sort of like, did he just have a stroke?
Liam,
And as he walks down the stairs.
hey, Liam, did you just have a stroke? Liam!
I'm gonna slam the door.
I'm gonna teleport back to beside her. Like, I made a new toy.
Oh, jeez.
I call them my deja boots.
Oh, that is an incredible thing to call them. That is such a good name. They're awesome.
I need to find someone else. I need to convince someone they had a deja vu.
Oh my god, we absolutely do. Can I help? Hang on, I have to lock whatever is in there, and I'm gonna close the vault door, and I'm gonna make sure all the locks are locked. You shouldn't keep this unlocked, by the way. I broke in here like it was nothing. Anyway, let's go find someone.
We wander off looking for another
A victim.
hapless victim.
You hear, as you come back downstairs and you come to the bedrooms, you hear clonk, clonk, clank, clonk, clank of Philip's armor.
So glad it's not me.
Perfect.
I feel like it would have been me.
All right, so you're coming down to what area?
You hear him in the vicinity.
Oh, I forget.
You
Okay.
hear him. You're in the bedrooms. You hear him down the living room stairs. Like he seems like he's kind of just gone to the bathroom or something. I don't know.
All right.
In the spectrum of like
Just gone to the bathroom in my chainmail.
All right. What you start up? You go start a conversation. I'll walk past and say something, and then I'll teleport back and walk past again.
Take it off,
And then you
take
pretend
it
it's the
off.
weirdest thing you've ever seen.
Okay.
Or you pretend you don't know
Totally
this.
casual.
Yeah. All right.
Wait, can I be like, hey Liam, every time you walk past?
Yes,
Great,
perfect.
great. Okay, go.
So where do you? So
Poor.
you are you positioning? You're positioning yourself like by the stairs, just like
So glad I'm
chilling.
with the kids.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm casually
Okay.
click whistling.
Okay.
I would have loved to see Yvonne.
Hey! Where'd you go?
Hi. I was in the apple room.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Some good shit?
I walk past now.
Well,
Liam walks past you.
Well,
Oh, Philip, how did the apple thing go?
Oh, I wasn't paying too much attention.
That's
I
fair.
was-
Same. I walk past.
Okay.
Hey Liam. So,
Yeah. I think I learned how to do something very useful.
oh yeah?
Yeah.
I teleport.
I
I walk in again. Hey, Philip, how's the apple room?
Oh, I wasn't really paying too much attention.
Hey Liam.
I pass. I teleport. As I stop. I'm like,
Too
that
dumb to fool.
wasn't it. I was afraid of this. I teleport back to right in front of him.
Okay.
Hey, Philip.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Dang it. Let's find someone else to whistle.
No, I hate it.
No.
Did you?
Our campaign has this segment of it has become just an anecdote from DuckTales. That's
I
what's
know.
happened right now.
Liam made a new toy. We were going to try to fool you.
Oh, that's cool. What does it do?
Oh my god.
They're called Deja Boots.
I don't get it.
Oh man.
Fair enough.
We shouldn't have played this game with him.
Oh.
You hear the kobolds and Setlali in the kitchen, in the
You want-
dining room.
Do you want to come play a trick on Setlali?
Oh no.
Yeah.
We're gonna fool him with the boots. But the only thing, your job is just to stand there, look pretty. Try not to say anything.
Oh. Okay.
I have so much confidence in you.
So the
That
two of you
makes one
walk.
of us.
The two of you walk into the kitchen or the dining room, and I imagine you stay behind. You walk in. Setlali, you and the kids have been sort of like.
We've been catching up.
Ask
Ask them how school's going.
There seems to be an advancement in their language, just a little
Amazing.
bit.
I'm happy for them. I
It
am.
seems, they.
They've learned exclusively the curse words.
Yeah, it's just
but
tiny
not
cursing
common.
sailors.
Not common. Just like I'm just
In
meaning,
Draconic,
in
yeah,
Draconic
yeah.
itself. It's
They're
just
like cursing in Draconic, and I'm yelling at them in Draconic.
I kind of feel like Draconic is nothing but curse words.
As you come in, it's very much like a. No.
I'm frazzled.
Yeah, it's a single mother with
Her 7 kids.
7 kids. Like it's like my mom. So
Hi, Tyler's mom.
Yvonne and Set plus Octet. Is there 7 or 8?
There's 7.
there's 7. Shit. Well,
Plus
septet.
Set. Plus Set.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well,
Sep Lolly.
Seplali.
Okay.
Sep Lolly.
So you guys are also maybe cooking something real quick. Like
Yeah.
it's just like a simple little
I'm teaching
meal
them
for
how to cook.
everyone.
I'm teaching them how to cook.
Mhm.
Let's
Some of
just
them
say
are
that.
taking into it, you know, like Zeus and Rosa are kind of like into it.
Zeus and Rosa.
Picasso is sort of off on his own. He just kind of like he just wants to doodle.
There's Hawking.
Hawking is just like sitting by you and talking about how, like in very simple terms, how cool Yvonne is and how he likes all of her
You
inventions.
got a crush.
And how he likes Liam's inventions. And
You got a crush.
yeah, so there've just been a lot of discussion about like we like our new like cave. Like we like this place. We would like to stay here. A lot like that's kind of what you come back to. They greet you with a very positive reaction. They seem to be warming up to the idea of staying here.
Cool, because I was actually gonna ask them if they wanted to not if they were.
There's just so many interesting smells. There's so many interesting things. There's so many places to play and so many things to decipher and like craft. And
Still
They're
remember that
so
ball.
eloquent.
Yeah.
We need to get a nanny for the mansion, though.
Yvonne's doing.
Julia.
That's
Yeah,
Juliet.
Yvonne's
Oh.
got so much to do. It's true. That's true, Leo.
no, it's Flanagan. Flanagan. Flanny.
full of shit.
Flanny.
Take your
The
medicine.
Flanny. We do a whole Fran Drescher opening.
I was gonna say
with
Fran
Flanny.
Drescher. I was gonna say Fran Drescher specifically just knocks on our door. It's like, hello, I'm here.
Okay, so
God, how would Fran Drescher bleat?
How would Fran Drescher
SpongeBob
stop
laugh.
bleeding?
So you step into this, the
Private Nanigan.
private Nanigan. Oh my god, it's like
We're
the
on
pacifier.
he's
It's
just
like the
standing there.
pacifier
This
meets.
episode.
He's just standing there,
League of
stoically,
Extraordinary
just,
Gentlemen.
swinging off his antlers.
Yeah.
He's standing there, just he's giving us a jungle gym.
By this.
Whatever Master Philip requires.
Just
You also hear
standing
me
there and
talking in a
schmuck.
language that no one
If it doesn't
understands.
hurt me, it won't break me.
The best part is you come into a room where nobody's speaking the same language.
Yeah, it's like stepping into a foreigner's home. There's just a bunch of Draconic being spoken around you.
Wow, this is a lot.
Yeah, 7 of them apparently.
I know.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, what's going on in here, man?
Oh, I'm teaching them how to cook. I mean, I'm not teaching them how to cook because I think they're a little young to be around a stove, but they're watching.
Yeah.
Webster's super excited about the inventions being made here.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Oh,
gonna-
Hawking, sorry.
Is Hawking okay?
Talking okay.
Why?
No reason.
Stephen talking. Never mind. Yeah, no, that's great. That's because Stephen
Webster
Hawking
starts
is-
to play with this.
Oh, okay, sorry. No, that's really cool. What you making?
Is it a canary Webster?
Well, I'm making them something that was made at the monastery on special holidays. I think they call it
Biscuits and gravy.
spaghetti.
Spaghetti!
Spaghetti.
You are telling me now
This really is the premier
that
Italian.
in the middle of the desert,
Yeah, that's why it was only made on holidays. We only got it every so often.
we got a little
It's like little
spaghetti.
snakes.
Spaghetti.
It's because it keeps so
Look!
well. It keeps well dried.
It
And you can
does.
cook a lot for really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ragu?
It's good to feed a
Keep
whole
talking your
monastery.
bullshit. Keep going.
And so,
I love that.
I believe it's called spaghetti.
I'm gonna walk in from. I'm gonna walk around the corner. Hi, so Lolly, food smells really good.
Thank
and then I'm
you.
gonna walk into the pantry.
Okay. You go open the
oh, while
pantry
you're in
door.
there, Liam, can you get this thing they call cheese?
You know what cheese is.
Oh, you know what spaghetti is, but you don't know what cheese
The
is?
kids don't. The kids have never seen it before.
That's probably
kids don't
So
true.
you open the pantry.
Thank you.
She
So,
says that to you.
all of you.
I'm gonna open the pantry. Is it a walk-in pantry? I pictured a walk-in
walk-in
pantry.
pantry.
I walk in, shut the door behind me. I teleport back around the corner. Walk in oh, hey, so Lolly, I'm just gonna check out the pantry real quick. And walk ahead and walk into the pantry again.
Okay.
So sad I missed
as
this.
as you're walking in and you're closing the door, roll me an insight check.
These boots are made for walk-in pantries.
And roll me a performance check.
Well, that's a
Yes.
natural 18 right there.
Damn.
Fuck.
She sees directly through you.
Plus a 6,
10.
so that would be a 20.
It's slightly
like a
better.
24.
So yeah, there's less giggling the second time. You're able to kind of hold yourself together.
I forget that I did grab the cheese the first time, so I'm carrying that as I walk back in.
Pretty much. Yeah, you're carrying the cheese. Like, I'm just going to the pantry. And so there's obviously something weird. And he closes the pantry door again. Do you teleport back again the third time?
I think I just have my ear to the door and I want to hear what she says.
New invention?
Yeah, he made the thing.
Cool. Yeah.
So subtle.
It's
Ask
awesome.
him. Ask him the title.
Hey, Liam, you can, I guess, leave the pantry now unless you're coming back the way you came.
I'm gonna just teleport to like the midpoint, like right in front of me. Here's your cheese.
Thank you. So, what are those?
They're my deja boots.
Solid.
That's the best name.
Solid name.
So far, the
How did the
only use
kids-
I've thought of them.
Here's the real question. How did the kids react to that?
I still don't get it.
The kids, most of them are, Webster's, like I said,
Yeah.
messing with the stove. And,
And I pull him
Sylvia
up.
clapping.
I pick him up. I'm holding him.
Rosa and Zeus are still kind of preoccupied doing their thing, and, who am I, Hawking's the only one
Yeah.
that's like, his little eyes just like get huge. He's just-
Great.
That's good.
And he comes up to you and like starts to speak in Draconic, and he's just.
That's
He
good.
said he's really excited about the new boots. He would like to know how they work at some point. Not now, obviously. We're busy. We're eating. You're welcome to join us. You can tell him over
Appreciate it.
dinner.
Alright.
Spaghetti.
With cheese.
With
I wanna.
With this thing called cheese.
The kids don't. Okay.
The way you said it sounded like you didn't know.
No.
You can say,
Cheese.
and we're gonna have what's called cheese. That's a lesson. Not this thing they call cheese.
You have to say cheese and draconic.
No, it's like.
This thing called.
Well, no, they don't have the concept of cheese in Draconic, so they would just be.
There's no
The
draconic
kids
cows.
eat
There's
other
no
people. Unfortunately,
I hope
that's
that
literally
peaked the audio.
Unfortunately, that's all there is in this house.
My ear hurts.
But fortunately for me,
Well, I'm sorry.
Wait, static visual effect means moving visual effect, right?
No, I believe static.
Static is
means-
the opposite of moving.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. I got them mixed up in my head.
Don't worry about no. It's not. Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to say. Is like no. Static is stationary.
Standing still, yeah.
A
great.
stationary effect. At this point, you have come back from the forest, and you do hear a good amount of commotion coming down the hall from the dining room.
Okay, I'm gonna
The
wipe my.
Panther's been sitting at the foyer, kind of
Yeah, he
on the
was.
steps,
He knows.
waiting.
I'm gonna give him a little hug, and then
Everything okay?
it'll be okay. It's just a tough day.
He licks your hand, the one that you cut.
Thanks. And then I give him a kiss on the nose. I guess we should go find everybody else.
They're in the dining room making a lot of noise.
My favorite. Let's go.
You're still naked.
Do you think I should put clothes on?
What are clothes? Nah, I'm just joking.
Yeah, gosh, yeah.
You do what you want.
Okay. I'm gonna keep going forward then.
It's a free country.
I'm naked.
Bow tie.
It's got a collar. Bow tie. Yeah.
I don't believe in colors.
That's like the Chippendales being dressed.
Yeah.
like that's the level of dressed he is.
He's
He's
right.
got a bow tie.
Is that not dress? I don't understand.
It's naked, but it's fancy naked.
Yeah.
He's not Donald Duck.
Yeah, literally the
He's just
equivalent,
gonna
like-
put on a shirt and be like, "That's it." So you and he walk forward to the dining room, and there's a fair bit of commotion. Everything's kind of lively, and you see that the kobolds running around. The wolves were also in there too, but they were kind of resting in the corner.
Yeah.
And as you come in, they perk up a little bit. They don't make moves towards you. They just kind of perk up at you being in the room.
Hi, Wolf 1, Wolf 2.
Panther kind of
Ripper.
like walks over and like flicks his tail at them, and then just kind of like lays down. Not meanly, but like playfully. Like
Oh, I was like,
just kind of like brushes them, and then and they kind of like surround him. And
oh, I missed them. What are you guys doing in here?
Apparently, family dinner.
Liam's got to do the toy.
Right.
What is the toy?
This action, so it would have had to been within, because an action is, or a turn is how many
6
seconds?
seconds.
It had to have been where I am in 6 seconds.
They're
Right,
called digiboots.
No.
they're not quite.
Did
By
you
the time
boots?
she got there,
Did you reboot?
it was.
No, it's just I have to have been there within
The
6
Australian
seconds,
version.
apparently, so I can't teleport anywhere now because I've been sitting for more than 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I
Do you not have them?
do. Here,
Hang
I
on,
stand
I'll
up, I walk 15
on.
feet away, I teleport back.
Hang on, I'll go get them.
Ta-da! Yeah, I stand up from my seat, I walk 15 feet away, and I teleport back.
How did you do that?
So, I've used a low level teleportation field that I've been able to through having them in my boots, I've been able to increase the radius of the things
so
they can
it's the
teleport.
boots. That's all I wanted to know. I just
Oh,
wanted to
right.
know. You can
You
do
feel a
that.
little tug on your coat from
Webster.
Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Hawkins. Yeah, little man. One of these days, I'll make a translator to Draconic, and we're gonna have some conversations.
He would like you to do it again.
I teleported back to where I was. There. And then back to in front of him.
I think he also wants to know. Why don't you tell us how you did it? Please.
You'll need to translate.
Yes, I was
Right.
planning on
So I have a low level teleportation field I made for my flask, and I basically heightened the amount of energy that it produces so I can teleport a human-sized person. So when I'm traveling, I leave a small piece of equipment up to 15 feet away, and then by activating the boots, I can teleport back to where that was. So I'm standing on top of that moment again, or that place again. So
Wow.
basically, it allows me to travel back to where I had been 6 seconds or 15 feet ago.
Wait, you have to leave a piece of item there?
Yeah, when I teleport back to it, it clicks back into the boot. So the
what
boot
happens if
drops
the
it.
item moves?
The teleportation field doesn't function.
So, oh.
But it only works within 6 seconds, so it would... By the time I use it, no one else will have time to do anything else.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure.
His eyes are just like saucers. They're just.
I think you found yourself a little apprentice.
Got I'm gonna pull out the well, let's see. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull out like the tin siren I made. I'm gonna look at this. I open it up and show him how it works, and then I pull the plug and it starts making a really loud screeching siren noise.
Oh my god!
Like that. And then I realize what I'm doing, and then I tried to stop it really quick. Sorry, I forgot how loud that was.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to show him the thing.
Like
But I'm-
reaches out and
We ask first. Would you like me to ask him? Would you like me to ask him if you can touch it? You have to ask first. You can't just touch things that
Just
are
give
not
the kid the
yours.
box? I mean, good lord.
I mean, his face is
He's a
very-
child. We have to teach him manners first. Yes. Liam, could Hawking hold the box?
Yeah, not a problem. Here you are, little man.
like sits down with it. And just, like,
You're
like,
never
left
getting it
out, like,
back,
oh.
yeah.
I'll get it back. Don't worry.
If he takes it apart, I just need the pieces.
and in fact, it's just like immediately like.
Spring, spring.
Are you going to put that back together? Okay.
He just. That's what he does for the rest of the time.
Great. We eat the spaghetti.
What is this stuff? It's like worms,
It's a spaghetti.
but like not.
It's special desert food.
Oh,
What do they call
the
it?
most deserty desert food.
It's called.
It's a little weird to be eating dessert first.
I know, right?
Act out.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you...
I just keep getting the noodles like
It's
wrapped around my
called
tusks.
spaghetti.
What kind of sauce did you make with this? Was it like a Alfredo? Was it a?
No, it was a very nice pesto
That's
sauce that.
That's rice though. Wait, no, it's pasta.
She put cheese on it.
I put pesto and cheese on it. Because we grew herbs.
You had access to this shit apparently. No. In your 5 hours that you had after the training, you went to Old Tarvish's. You got some.
I went to Trader Joe's.
You woke up old Jarvis.
Oh, Tarvis Joe.
Well, it would have been like 7 by the time she got to
Yeah,
Tarvish's.
honestly, Tarvish opens probably about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's true. I guess. I guess
And
grocery
he's,
stores open.
and he's in bed by 6 p.m.
The store closes at 5. Really convenient.
He sleeps behind the counter.
Yeah, you find him face down on the counter.
It only closes because he's passed out.
Because he's done, yeah.
And they don't have any other tellers.
The only
That's how they keep the prices so low. Very low overhead for employees.
Very low.
Their payroll is.
Well, they're also halflings. So
Oh, we should change our name to the Punslingers. We've been on fire.
But
this
I was
episode.
like-
Yeah, we have been.
from where we were started, guys, this is a great first half. Actually, with that though, I feel like that's a good place for a break, for the meal. We'll be taking, it's 15 minutes? 15? Yeah, around 15 minutes. So go ahead, grab your snacks, grab your drinks, empty the bladders, whatever you need to do. Kiss your wife, kiss your husband, kiss your
Kiss
children.
both.
They're all going to die someday. And we'll be back.
Whoa.
Eat spaghetti.
You got any questions? Like, why would you depress us like that? Go ahead and ask them now.
I know.
And,
You'll find Twitter at you'll find Tyler at where on Twitter? I want all those questions to go directly to you.
At detective number 27.
yeah,
I'll totally
any
do that.
complaints? Any complaints? Send them straight.
Any hospital bills or
Existential crises.
yeah, I'm sending my way.
Send to
Any,
the real.
any class action lawsuits?
Send to the real Donald Trump.
All right, thanks guys. Hello everybody, welcome to the break. I can see a fun time is being had by all. At this point, I feel like all you can hear is my voice, which is really fun.
Yay! There we are.
Okay, so as you can see, our illustrious producer Raph was not able to make it tonight, but I think that's fine. I think it's good. I'll be running some of the questions right at the top, and if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I almost said doodly doo, and I don't want to say doodly doo. That sounds terrible, right?
But you also just said it
That's the Vlogbrothers, I think.
I think so.
They
It's
call
also-
it a description box of like
Is that what it is? Am I
Yeah.
like subconsciously remembering that?
John Green specifically. Yeah, he's always
Yeah.
like
The
links in the
doodly-doo.
doodly doo,
Okay, great.
like with those eyes. Just
All
like
right. Like crazy.
John
eyes? Is that
John
what it
Green
is?
writes all the children
Yeah,
with cancer
I know,
books.
Yeah, no, I know who that is.
I want you
The,
to take that
the
back.
children
I
with
love John
cancer
Green.
books.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
You're not.
Yes.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite description
He has like
of an
two.
author
He's
ever.
done.
Turtles all the way down, right? That's it.
He has Asperger. No.
Yes. What?
Asperger.
Turtles all the way down. Is
We're gonna
is
keep going.
cancer.
We're gonna make sure that this doesn't get any more incriminating. Okay,
What's
so
our time? What's our time?
9:44.
Okay, cool. So we'll be back in at 10, basically.
Yes.
All right.
All right. So first off, I'll kind of get your guys' questions to you first, and then we can go on to the ones that are for me. For all of you,
Ooh.
for all of you, let's start with Chris and go down the line. What does level 7 feel like? What new features or spells are you excited for?
Oh, you know, it feels a little bit better than level 6. It doesn't feel quite as good as level 8. Tell you how much.
Jesus.
You know, I think I'm.
I should
Oh, yeah,
start
we
with
got there.
Chelsea.
You know, we went out there. We played some good football. Yeah, they played good football too. You know, it's just gotta leave it all on the field.
That's a good of what I just got.
No, I was real excited. I was real excited for the aura of warding that I finally got at this point. It's the second of 3 auras that I get with my with the oath that I chose. And this one cuts all spell damage in half for anybody within 10 feet of me. That I want it to, I guess.
Oh, I was about to be like, well, I gotta.
Yeah, no, it's creatures that
Allies.
yeah,
It's
like
allies, yeah. Like
creatures,
it has to be somebody I actually want to protect.
I don't like you today.
Well, that leaves me
Yeah.
out, I guess. Oh.
Which is good. It's like probably the most useful out of all the ones that I get. Well, I don't know. The saving throw one is really nice.
It's I mean from my standpoint, like looking at paladins, it's certainly not like what you just said. It's certainly not like the most important or like the best one. It's just like it's the fact that it's such a helpful additional ward on top of having a saving throw. So if they're passing a fireball save because of you,
They take a quarter.
they take a half damage. But then if they're still within that aura of your of aura of warding, then that means on top of that they're getting an additional resistance against it. So it's like for some people who have evasion, which I'm sure you're about to get into, but like they don't have to worry about that at all. But people like Nameless, even yourself and Liam, super helpful.
It also,
Especially because Liam's pretty stationary himself.
yeah.
And Nameless to a degree as well.
Yeah.
It also makes my.
Had my fun on it.
I've already got.
Yeah.
And I've already got like good physical defense, so then having that extra magical defense on
Yeah.
top of it is also just really helpful for letting me tank.
It's a nice off buff.
Yeah. Outside of that, the only thing I got was the second worst roll I could have gotten for my HP, and one more second level spell slot was
Yeah.
all I really got. So the
Level
aura was a
7's
big
weird.
thing.
Level 7's a little weird because it's a bunch more like utility stuff for characters. So
We're in that awkward teenage stage. Well, I got evasion, so that means sometimes if I rock it, no damage. Bam, which is great since I have no hit points.
but all the time half damage.
Yeah, but all the time half damage, and then
For specifically dexterity saving throws, but
yeah.
like
Well, we all know I'm not really
that's
good
a
at
bulk
rolling
of
dice, so
honestly, that's a bulk of attack spells is
Yeah.
is dexterity.
yeah. So that's super duper helpful, especially if we go back into the marsh, because seeing as everything is undead and is not like doesn't do well against all of my attacks, we kind of want me to be as like healthy as humanly possible. Not saying I'm like the most important person. I'm just saying it like it'll
For
be a
that
little
situation,
helpful.
you have a much
But
higher.
like then I also,
purpose.
if speaking of going back into the marsh, if for some reason I'm frightened, I could just be like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm good, and then I could just not be frightened anymore, and that's super duper helpful as well, because that's the other thing I got.
Yeah.
So thanks level 7, you rock.
It's also like the last aura that I get in like 4 more levels is
Yeah.
anybody within 10 feet of me can't be frightened,
That's so nice.
which
But yeah, I mean, maybe the shitty part is the action spending, but like outside of combat I see that happen a lot more where you get frightened outside of combat.
100%.
So it's one of those things where it's like it kind of becomes moot, but you know later on there's things like dragons have frightful presence, and so like that if you're in the middle of a combat and the dragon decides to use that, spending your action to do that maybe kind of sucks, but it's like
Yeah.
it's nice and helpful.
But I have a free one, so
it's better than spending your action running away.
exactly.
How about you?
I just I gained a spell slot, so
You're a
pretty
caster
thrilled.
though. That's what casters do.
No, I'm thrilled. I didn't. I'm excited about
Yeah.
the extra thing, but that was it. Like I gained spell.
Is that
slot.
why when you decided to make that connection with the tree, is that kind of the purpose behind that?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
that was like
I said like I was like, oh, that's when the world, the nature like gives me like my fourth spell because I don't have a teacher anymore. So
Yeah.
I feel like that was why I'd have to learn that some way.
what do you? I do have a quick question. If you can sum it up, or if you've thought of it at all, is that where you think that Nameless kind of lies? It seems like she's sort of trying to discover her real connection with nature.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I think when it comes to plants and stuff like that, that maybe she's not the best at it. Cough, cough, speak with plants. Failure 3 times.
I don't know
But
if that was a failure.
I-
I honestly don't think that, like, maybe you failed to convince it to do something for you, but, like, it was not
Yeah.
a failure in every other respect.
No, but like as I'm saying, like they like failed, like I didn't get to do what I wanted. So I think that like, I mean, you joked about the teenager phase, but I feel like she genuinely is the first time in a while where she's like truly been by herself. Like she has Panther, but like there's no real person to guide her. So I think that she's still like a little lost and is seeking answers from nature, and I think that was like the only way that like. Because the idea was that, like, it was that whole entire thing is like something that her and her mom would do for her birthday every year. So she
That's
celebrates
some blood
her.
on some trees.
Yeah, man, we gotta grow.
Yeah.
And so that's how she celebrated. She recognizes her mom's,
Memorializes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Memorializes her mom's death. So that was like why she's happening. And I figure like there was that moment of realization because I never really figured out how she ever before learned her spells when she leveled up, because there's no player's handbook for Nameless, so I think that was kind of what that was.
Well, that's what I really
Yeah.
loved watching you guys do, and that was why I was so glad to help facilitate that. Is the idea of, because it was always something that I wanted to do, and I know that Chris and I talked about this before when we were like talking about doing the stream. We like one day we like very very briefly talked about it. And as we got closer to the idea of leveling up, we brought it up again. And just the thought of, like, I'm so much more into us having the opportunity to do something like that. Of, like, it's not that I think that you guys have to train to gain your level. Just in the sense of, like, if we're doing milestone leveling, then it kind of... It invokes a certain level of internal... innovation, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Is like the idea of like I'm coming up with a reason why my character would have this newfound ability.
I really
What are they
liked
focusing
it. I liked it because like I never thought about that before. I was just like, I woke up one morning and I knew another spell, and like I never really thought about it that way. So it's really interesting as like a character development to think about.
Well, and what
like,
you're
why.
saying too about the idea of she has Panther, she has these things. She's Circle of the Shepherd, so
Yeah.
she knows animals really well.
Yeah.
Like she's really comfortable with that. But this is a level where you don't get that.
Yeah.
And so it is this idea of like, okay, what is my connection to this thing really when nobody's teaching me?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a real one. This is like the first time that that's had to happen, and I see it more now.
Yeah, because that was more I think it was an unexpected surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I really actually enjoy about it is, like, starting out when the first time, like, I did, like, a Pathfinder campaign or whatever, it was, like, a thing of, like, oh, cool, this guy can do these abilities, and, like, you pick stuff based off of, like, oh, this would be a really cool thing to do. But I really like that we're moving in the direction of making all of those numbers and stuff on the paper, like, actually mean something character-wise.
Yeah.
And having it be like, okay, cool, he gets these abilities, but like, why? And it helps inform. It's like the other characters I want to play now. Like I went back and like started like after that session, I went back and started looking at like the other characters I have, and it's like, so what about the classes that I pick for them can inform who they are or the growth that they go on? And it's something I've been thinking about with Philip too. Is like, so how do I want him to grow in relation to like the subclass I picked for him, basically? And so exploring like, okay, so what are these auras? How is he doing this, and what does it mean to him to figure out how to do this? Has been really interesting.
When you create characters, sorry to like ask a question, but when you create characters, do you like think of like where you want to go first and then create the character, or do you think of create the character and then you do both?
So for almost all of them, I start with like like a really basic idea of like, I want to do a bard who doesn't like people.
Okay.
Or like I want to do a bard who's a loner, and like how do you make that work? Or
how do you make a commanding presence with somebody with a class that is so?
How do you make a
readily
commanding
about?
presence? How do you make a commanding presence? How do you make somebody charismatic without them being likable?
Yeah.
Was also another thing I asked about him. And then get stuff like that. So I start with like an idea of that, and then it's like, okay, and then I look at like the basic class. I look at the subclasses, and I see what options are there. It's like, what one do I think is going to fit this person more? That actually varies. So for some of them, I look at the subclass first, and then I start building the backstory stuff out of that. Sometimes I start building the backstory first, and then try to pick a subclass that matches the backstory.
Yeah, because I think that's what kind of.
So
That's what kind of more like what I was asking. Like, do you create the backstory? Like, I want to be a character who's this, and then find what matches, or do you do this and like what's an interesting backstory for this character?
for the bard, I actually don't know the subclass for the bard yet. I'm still trying to figure that part out. But I know I'm doing the backstory first on the bard. With this ranger I've been thinking about, I thought of bits of the backstory, but it was really more just like other things that I thought would be interesting coming off of the concept, which is basically playing a ranger that is deaf. And then, how you make that happen. And then I looked at the subclasses and saw what the options are, and I started looking for like which descriptions of these subclasses and like what they do and what they specialize in, which of these give me ideas for that backstory.
That's cool. That was just me wondering.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to another question, and we'll go a little bit beyond 10 tonight, just because some of these are really cool. So Set Lolly, spaghetti?
We got a really cool question. What if we just blasted her about the spaghetti thing?
I could not think of anything, and ironically, I had just been talking to somebody, actually my mom, who is no longer watching this stream because she's watching Lieutenant Joe Kenta on Investigation Discovery, so, yeah.
I'm glad that our viewers know that now.
Yeah. Well, it's very important for her to know that she got a shout out.
All right. What's the answer to this question?
It's really dumb. I was literally just telling her that I want her to make spaghetti and meat sauce when I come visit, and she got mad that I told her that. And I was like, you always ask, so I was just telling you now. And so it was the last thing that was
it was the last thing on your mind.
So that's quite literally the only reason.
It was a quick answer, so that's why I was like, we'll get into there.
I mean, yeah.
So Nameless, I think this kind of piggybacks on what I was already asking you. Does Nameless feel that connection with nature will eventually connect her to her mother? D&D offers a lot of opportunity to explore death in the afterlife. Is that something you want to do?
Oh, I actually hadn't thought about that. No, I didn't think it was a way to connect to her mother more. I mean, I do think like that's something that her and her mother
like you said, it's some type of memorial of that connection.
Yeah, like I think that it's something her and her mom that was like something she was very aware of because of her whole entire like being a little crazy, and like so I kind of imagined that she was like the witch doctor kind of lady, and so I think that her mom is connected to nature. I hadn't thought about that actually. I think it was more of just like connecting to, because I think she spent more time with Herrick than she did her mom.
Yeah.
So I think I hadn't actually thought about that. So that's something I can think about.
Philip, your goal, even just coming back to Sested, and it was the early morning, and so you had to wait. But Philip's goal right now is really to go to Lorethka and speak to her. How has Philip's mindset changed since the encounter with Kalenth? I mean, how far is he willing to go to finish this mission? Is there something that has changed in the idea of like what he is about to go tell her?
I think after his conversation with ROI, I think the main thing on his mind now is he's thinking less right now about whether or not he can do it, and he's shifted more into basically like it's not about whether or not he can do it anymore. It's more about this is what needs to be done, so he's going to do it. And so he's thinking more now about what she needs. I think is the main thing is the main thing that's changed. Instead of thinking about whether or not he was successful or whether he's going to be successful, it's more of I can't spend my energy on this right now. Like I I can't go to her and be like that. I
Yeah.
guess is the main thing. Is the main mindset change.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
I think it's the main thing is the conversation with her. I think he's more resolved now to.
it's less of a I'm coming with just ill tidings. It's kind of a resolve of this is not the end for this. This is more of
It's
an
mo-
update.
It's more. It is going to. It's more of a. He needs to be the one who tells people that there's hope. Is the main thing.
Do you think that's because of like what ROI told him, or is that just sort of something that he's kind of resolved outside of that for himself?
I think it's a combination. So I think when he initially like went out on this whole thing, he initially he wanted to. His big thing was like he wanted to serve ROI, but I think what that initially meant to him was, oh, I want to be like I want to be the one that is in these stories, or I want to do these things other people did, and so I think it was more selfishly motivated at first. Because I don't know, he had so
Even unknowingly.
he has so little context for anything.
Yeah.
Anything about regular society. He had so little context for any kind of hardship or any kind of anything.
Right.
So there's been like a lot of challenges in terms of just kind of like growth and wrapping his mind around the way that things really are. With a lot of it, and I think it's more him realizing what it actually means to be to serve people, I suppose. So I think it's the main thing is first off hearing ROI reassuring him when he was in a vulnerable state where he felt it was extremely possible that he could have, because he failed, he could have like lost her favor. I think was part of it, but also her just kind of reiterating what she wants and what his mission is. I think it's kind of giving that resolve of like he can't give into like the negativity. Basically, he can't start thinking about how he's failed, because if he starts doing that, then he stops doing what he's here to do. I think it's the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the last thing that we'll talk about is, I guess for me, what challenges does level 7 bring to me, and by extension to you guys? And for me, like I said, like level 7 is really just like a utility level. You see a lot more. You'll see spell slots coming up. Not really like a new spell level. You'll see abilities like what you got. Defensive abilities like evasion and stillness of mind. And there's a reason for that. It's because you've spent about 6 levels getting kind of battle heavy skills, things that
Get
help
extra
you.
attack. Get an
Also,
Extra
I thought
attack.
it's definitely with spell level, not spell slot. 4th level spells now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is like it's
I didn't say level. I realized I said slot, but it was spell
Oh,
level.
I thought you got an extra slot.
in the new level.
I'm sure I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm thinking of Liam then, because Liam got just like an additional.
No, I
spell
realized
slot.
I definitely said the wrong
I got another slot as well.
Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah, she got
but
another-
that's the thing is that, like, yeah, you opened up. That was kind of like your big thing of this level, is like you opened up a new understanding of magic.
Yeah.
But even that is like 4th level spells. They don't. You see a lot more attack heavy spells in like 2nd and 3rd level, 4th and 5th. Yet again, a lot of utility or defense use.
Isn't Fireball 5th level?
No, Fireball is 3rd level.
It is,
Yes, it's a 3rd level wizard spell or sorcerer.
but it can be cast at 5th
Because I
level,
have it.
right?
Yes.
It's one of the spells that can be scaled up. Okay.
No, you have burning
Right.
hands.
No, on my other campaign. I have Fire
Oh,
it's a 3rd
sorry.
level spell.
Sorry.
So I'm saying yes, it is
okay.
a 3rd level spell.
Yeah. It's some it's one of the spells that you can cast higher level. For me, the difficulties of having characters at 7th level is finding appropriate challenges. The sophomore, like, teenage year thing is a really apt description
God,
in the sense
so
that
good at analogies.
in the sense that it's just this thing of like you're in a ground of there's not a lot that you can challenge them with in the terms of just like straight out of the book low level stuff, but the higher level stuff is also still kind of like just out of reach. It's like I'm either pitting you guys against something that is way beyond what you guys should be fighting, because there's 5 of you, so I have to, make it, or it's kind of laughable, and I just have to throw so many things at you that it like actually becomes a challenge. So 7, 8, and 9, personally, I have found are levels where I am having to make a lot of, and without giving too much away, like, I'm having to make a lot of decisions on monsters that I'm having to add stuff to them. I'm having to add challenges or specific things that maybe go against type, or maybe extra abilities that like you wouldn't suspect. So it's like it's a lot of that. And then once you get to like 10th, 11th,
11.
you kind of go back to that. You kind of go back into like, cool, we can pit you guys against these normal kind of creatures because you guys have enough new abilities that you guys have like ways to combat certain things.
So what you're saying is you want to get us to 10th level as quickly as possible.
That's not what I said.
prefer 11th because I learned that I can go to trees and we could just like go from one tree to the end of the swampy thing.
Cool. So you're gonna try to speed level us through 11, basically.
I think the Luminescent Festival is just one level right there.
You eat a cake that fills you with energy.
I also would like. I do kind of want to wait until level 20 so I can come in on my swarm of butterflies, but that's just personal.
I want to come in with antlers.
I can get you
At
antlers. I don't.
No, but like.
I'm just happy to play.
Well,
the game
everybody,
for
I
the-
think that.
No,
We're not answering that. We're not asking that question, Raph. You know what? If you want to ask that question, you have to be here to ask it. So, I think with that, we're going to end the break here, and we're going to go ahead and start second half of the episode. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the one question, Raph. I really appreciate that one question. That's super cool that you would ask that one specifically.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for being patient. I don't know. Maybe.
thanks for sticking around.
Thanks for
If you left, I'm really disappointed in you.
If you're just joining.
how
Welcome back.
weak you are.
If you're just joining, don't. You're gonna get spoiled. What are you doing? Go back.
So, what? After dinner, dinner,
Why is there air quotes around
Because I
that?
just realized that it was technically
It's
morning.
Yeah.
it's morning in Sestead.
This is morning spaghetti.
This is the
But
best
you
kind
guys
of
are
spaghetti.
on. You guys are on that other time technically because of how you guys were walking and moving through the wood.
Well,
the
it's
wilds
been
and stuff.
at least
so
8 hours since we started, so
it is now 11.
Okay.
at night here and 11 in the morning in Sestead.
Correct.
Just do a dexterity check real quick.
Awesome.
I cannot get the noodles to like cleanly go. There's like some just like still kind of like wrapped around my tusks. Like
It's in there. You can feel it too. It's this thing.
So
that
I
just,
ju-
like,
I
you
just-
know it's there.
Gripping.
It doesn't have
Oh.
I just spent the next couple hours just like
It's very noticeable that he might have food in his mouth, or like between his teeth.
I don't think it's like I think like literally like they're just like wrapped around like my tusks that are like protruding.
It's like right there. So he's,
It's a good look.
Do you want help with that?
Oh,
Saving it for later?
yeah, it'll eventually break down.
I don't think that's how that
word
works.
of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did everybody have a productive morning? Everybody feel like they got something done?
I made the boots.
Right, you made those.
What boots?
I threw a lot of apples. Do I have
Kidding.
strength? Do I get stronger?
+1 to her strength.
In my right arm.
Plus 0.5.
For what?
She knows
I
that
threw
Huffing
endless apples and fireballs.
For, like an hour.
You said 2 to 3.
Can she get an advantage?
Then you left.
So yeah, after 2 to 3 hours I left.
Can she get an advantage to checks using her right bicep?
No, you don't get stronger.
A
for
hucking
3
check?
hours.
Nice.
Do you get stronger after 3 hours of boxing class?
Technically, yes I do.
It is
Yeah, that's actually a really
That's
dumb
literally
question.
how-
Yeah,
That's literally how exercising
point of
works.
exercising.
Yeah, like what kind of question is that?
If I exercise if nameless exercises every day, do I get stronger?
Try me.
I start doing push.
Nameless feels challenged by God.
If I just carry a small set of dumbbells everywhere we walk, and I'm just like, everywhere we're walking. Yeah, just little 2-pound weights. Just,
just sort of mom
I wouldn't do anything for
We have
me,
like those
but,
ankle weights on us too.
Oh, somebody with 8 strength. Can I get it to 9 by just power walking with weights?
You could prancercise.
Sure.
Oh,
Um,
exercise! That is one of my favorite videos.
I am into
Ever.
stat increases like that. It just takes a lot longer. It's going to take you much longer amount of time to see a point difference than like I got to level 8 and now I get to hike stuff
Just
up.
like real life. Okay.
Okay.
So I guess we should start. Should we like break up and like talk to
Why are we breaking
individual? Not break up. Like I mean like split and talk to like so some people talk to Loretka, some people talk to Daphne, or do we want to do all together?
What?
I
are we
feel like we
doing?
should all be there to talk to Daphne.
Yeah.
That's true. I think that's a good idea. So do we want to? All right. So far, with the question list that I understand so far is we have to go to the mining company to talk to Loretka and Horace, because maybe Horace got mined, right?
Well, Horace is probably not at the mining company anymore.
Right. Aren't they keeping them here? Aren't they keeping him there?
No.
No.
She was gonna take him to Daphne.
Then maybe Daphne's first stop.
No.
No, they were definitely.
They were definitely gonna
keeping
torture
him.
him. They were gonna like
Yeah.
humble him. Like they were gonna like make him soup.
Yeah, but then she said she was gonna take him to Daphne.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe you don't understand. When you torture someone, you do it for at least I do. That sounded really weird.
I've killed men before.
I killed him for money.
Everybody at the table just starts to scoot away from Nameless.
No, I
get
Whistle
closer.
scoots in. So like, what's your like
She's-
deal? Like I'm not.
She's ruined spaghetti for everybody.
I feel like they might still have him. I would still want to.
Still have him, right?
I don't know.
Even so, I mean, I think Daphne should be our first port of call.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
we have the letter, we should debrief on that anyway, and then if she has Horace there, then we'll talk to Horace there. If not, we'll go to the mining company.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's pretty emotionally attached to it, so
I think she means you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I should talk to Loretka.
Yeah, that's.
But we can go to Daphne first.
I think
Alright.
Daphne is our first.
I just wanted to make sure you were cool with that. You had the whole crying thing down there, so.
Philip starts crying again. Oh no.
Well, it just starts like
Chewing on the.
Oh
Starts
boy!
focusing on spaghetti. I found some more meat.
I didn't put meat in that.
Wait, there was any meat in there.
Yeah,
I think this whole time I've just been like also just focusing on trying to like keep that, trying to like just make that like a reflexive thing that I just am always doing.
you kind of over the past couple hours have felt that there is a bit more of a immediacy to it. It feels like I'm sorry. You feel as though you have a greater control. Maybe you might need some fine tuning somewhere, but like you have a very good sense of the area that you can manipulate that energy and the flow of magic, sort of not barrier. I'm trying to say like a magic diffusement.
Okay.
So what's the first point that you guys want to go to?
Daphne.
Daphne.
Daphne. All right.
Daphne.
As you head out,
Did
you
you put
kind
on
of see
clothes?
Yvonne.
Oh, do you
Or
think?
Yvonne was
we're gonna-
eating dinner with you guys.
Do you think I should? I want to go put on some clean clothes.
Probably a good idea.
That's yeah. I mean, let it hang loose at home, but like I think
Truthfully, all of you have, could do for a change.
yeah.
Oh, and I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go change as well. I guess.
I'll take a dust bath.
We do that.
We change.
Hygiene break.
Hygiene break.
Philip's done way faster than everybody else. Okay.
I just started licking
forget to
myself.
go things.
Imagine.
Little toiletry bag.
And the shower flip flops.
Everybody's lined up outside the bathroom.
Oh, that's the next room we gotta.
This whole mansion in one bathroom.
The
So
kobolds
as you
start
step
getting
outside,
around,
it's
like, we don't
instead
know why there's
things
no
are
one.
very, very lively. It's a lively city in its own right, but things are getting boisterous where you guys live, which is not usually the case. You see kids running around. You see people kind of like going by their day in the sense of they're carrying things. They're carrying these like lanterns. They're carrying a bunch of baubles and things to like hang. You see people kind of like putting up some decorations on their houses. You see a bunch of different activity. It doesn't seem like anybody's working either. It seems like there's a lot of just sort of.
Is
There's gonna be a party.
there anything around
What's
that
going
like
on?
signifies what exactly is happening?
No, nothing that like screams of like a banner or anything like that. Just they're
Suspicious.
multiplicitous in their color, all the different lanterns.
They're preparing for a festival. There's gonna be a festival. I love festivals.
No kidding.
But there seems to be like everything that they're hanging up and everything that they're decorating with seems to have some form of infrastructure to like light up.
Okay.
Does this at all seem familiar?
You haven't been to Sesed, so no.
But
It's
are we
not
used to there
deep.
being any festivities around this time of year?
Again, not because only because you haven't been in this area this time of year before.
Can I
So
just
you don't have any
But,
sort
like,
of
we don't have-
familiarity.
Yeah, but we don't. Do we have a festival around this time of year on our side of the world?
No.
can I just tap?
It would be
whoever-
like for Dratenia, a celebration of this sort would come. It would come later in the following month.
All right. Is that like a harvest style festival or?
Yeah.
Can I just tap whoever is closest and ask and be like, "Excuse me, what's all this?"
It's just this. It's like younger guy. He's got a little scruff. He's well, this is these are our lights. I mean, we're setting up for the Luminescent Festival. I mean, it's the
festival.
It's the festival. I mean, you're telling me you've never been to Sested's Luminescent Festival?
No, I have not.
Oh,
Uh,
that's very unfortunate. You should go. It's great. It's a fun time. There's plenty of drinks and merriment and food and women and men. I don't know. There's
Some of those
I
are my
gotta
very
go.
favorite things.
do a thing. And he kind of blushing walks away.
thank you.
Oh,
Oh.
speaking of men, don't you have a date?
I know. I need to go and I need to stop in and see Nerith. Tell him I'm back. And we need to set up a time for a date, but we haven't set up a time for a date yet.
So
Just when I'm back. So I'll have to do that. But I figure the Daphne thing's probably more important. So maybe at some point today I'll do that.
So put upon the Daphne thing.
The major threat in a tower in a plague marsh, but
I love it.
so dope. A festival.
We can go on a date at the festival.
Oh, that'd be
Is that too?
really.
Is that weird for first date?
No,
It's fine. It'll be great. It'll be great.
I've never been on a date, so I don't know what
It's
to tell
really
you.
sweet.
Yeah, I've totally been on. I've been like
You know, like just like lots of dates.
Cool.
Insight. No. Just insight check.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, it's a natural one. You
He's
playboy,
very-
you.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's when you're whatever I am, it just happens. I like how the sound effect can apply both to your role and Liam's love life.
I'm 22 years old.
Really?
And you don't look a day over 22.
I've seen a lot of dates.
God
Have you-
damn it.
Been on one?
I've been awake for most of them.
I think he means dates of the year.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep walking.
Oh.
This has been real fun.
I've been
We go Daphne word. We head in
We go,
a.
to,
Yeah.
we go to the Daphne on the compass.
Yeah.
You whisper
So
Daphne.
you head towards the northern end of town, the dockside.
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 Welcome to the dockside.
I like water.
Moving through,
Totally.
you guys have actually kind of moved through the city a little bit at
I
this
have
point.
an
You don't have to
excellent
go all
geography
through
memory.
the center, and that's kind of what I'm saying. You guys make your way through the alleyways and through like the, sort of the shorter parts of town, and are able to make it there quicker than usual, or than you have in the past, making it towards the garrison. There seems to be, like the gates, there are quite a bit of guards kind of walking around, especially by the dockside, and especially
I can't unhear it.
I know, I
Like, I'm
can't either now.
especially by the docks. And kind of surrounding the garrison itself, there seem to be a fair amount of troops. They let you in fairly easily. We don't have to have any sort of scuffle
Just
about
wave
that.
at all of them. Hey, Brad.
Yeah, you're fairly recognizable to these guys. They've
How are the kids?
Oh, it's the guy with the elk. All right, let's go.
pretty much like you guys are a very unique band. So
Elk
they
guy,
have,
bird
they
girl,
have,
snake girl.
What's the Mountain Dew?
It's a rare Mountain Dew!
One guard's like, yeah, they totally played something. Who
Wait.
knows?
I catch his eye and I give a shuffle change.
Oh, Daphne's got like a Mountain Dew poster in her room.
You guys don't even have merch yet. I was,
She,
Yeah, it's bootleg. Like,
yeah,
we're definitely not getting a
bootleg.
cut.
She made it!
She's. It's bootleg. She's
It's like,
like,
one of my
she's like,
cousin,
she's like,
my nephew made it.
she's like, have
I
you
guess
seen
I have
it?
to put it up.
She didn't actually see us, but she's like heard about it, and she's like, "Oh, have you seen these guys? Yeah, I love them. Yeah,
No,
they're,
no, totally.
she's like talking to us, like, yeah, it's great. Oh, it's fun. You know, I've gone to
oh
like
man, I
6
got
of
to
their
see
shows.
their original show, and it was so good.
Let me tell you, if you miss that run, you don't care about music. She's just talking about us.
So, you come to her office. The door's open, and she's sitting behind the desk, kind of going through a couple of different notes.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Hey, Daphne.
I'm really glad to see you all.
What, is everything okay?
Doesn't sound like it.
No, I'm sorry. It's just it's a long day, and you guys, you certainly are good news.
Oh no.
Well,
I'm sorry, I can't be more excited. Is this about the level of energy I have right about now?
Is it because of the light party? I forgot the word genuinely.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how good of a just pulling out a word around like a date spot, do you think like the Luminescent Festival would be? Just like a
That's
picking your brain,
cool.
casual conversation.
Oh, settle down. She's very busy, but Liam.
Damn it!
Oh, damn it! Oh. Sorry, I don't know what happened.
I made an anagram of your name.
Oh my god, almost.
Yeah,
Just
almost.
replace like the Yeah, just instead of the E, just use it.
And then the S.
Oh, it's Mila, or spell Liam Liem instead.
Yeah,
of...
that's kind of what I was trying to say.
So, she looks at you again.
can
She's
say-
got
you make
these
slime out of
like.
his name.
It's in some respects it's a little bit hard to see, but she's got these sort of bags under her eyes, and her horns aren't droopy. They can't droop, but it's just sort of like there just seems to be this like ache to all of her. There just seems to be like a pain, and she looks. Illuminated Festival is something that many young men and women love to engage in for a first date.
It's not like too forward or anything. Just asking for
Well,
a friend.
Well, I'm very flattered.
No, yeah,
His friend
I
is
understand.
Nerith.
You're very busy right now, so.
His friend is
I
Nerith.
understand.
He wants to ask him about that.
Oh,
I'm sure she knows who he
it will
is.
be a very lovely time if he decides to go with you.
What? Hey,
Fair enough.
hey, Daphne, you don't seem your normally vivacious self.
Oh yeah.
You also kind of look really not good.
Also, there's
Thank you, Nemo.
So
Thank you, Nemo.
Thank you for that.
right. Yeah. So no, we're here. We have reasons to be here. I have a thing here. It's a note from the outpost.
And unfortunately, we don't bear very good news. We went into the Plague Marsh. There's some bad shit in there, but really the worst shit kind of sits in the middle. That Tower of Blight thing is actually it seems like Kalenth might be definitely still alive and gaining more power.
Takes a blank piece of paper or parchment and starts to write. Now, understand that this comes with the adage, no, not the adage, but I like you all. I trust you, have the best intentions, but do you have any evidence?
He talked to us in our minds. He
We have a
sounds-
bar.
We also spoke
Yeah.
to Terry.
We did speak to Sir Terry.
There's a guard dog / knight / floating flaming skull who said he was guarding the tower, and then Kalenth, they talked to us in our minds, and had a lot of very personal information about all of us. So that's less than ideal.
We don't really have any concrete evidence, I guess.
So,
Do you know anybody who has studied Kalenth and knows a lot about the people around him? Them?
well, as luck would have it,
As luck would have it.
as luck would have it, it's just like it's not sitting in my mouth
Are you
today.
okay, Daphne? You wanna write it out?
Yeah.
As luck would have it,
Daphne's real tired.
I have one in my dungeon right now.
What?
What do you have in your dungeon?
It's Horus.
Oh, great!
He
The
continues
horse
to
is
write.
Oh, they don't know how to torture people.
I really don't. I mean, it's really shoddy work.
And you say that he did what?
They.
They talked to you in your head,
Yes.
Mm.
and there's a flaming skull named Terry, and
Oh.
there's a box.
Yes.
I heard something about a box.
Right.
It's just an ordinary box.
It's yeah, we just
Can you roll me a deception check there?
Yeah, I can't. No, it's a 3.
Oh,
Come on, natural 1.
As he rolls multiple dice.
I know. She might be at disadvantage. Because she's sleepy.
It's a natural, magical box.
I can forget about the box if you don't want me to know. You just don't have to lie about it. Just don't say anything else.
Okay.
So we just came back into town, obviously. Are the increased number of guards we saw at the gate and around here, does that have to do with the festival, or is there something else wrong?
It's not so much something else that's wrong, it's just more of a... Yes, the festival certainly brings out the devious nature of us all. More so that it just creates a fine mess of pests and peasants who decide that they love to ruin my city.
Can I do an insight check to see if she's telling the complete truth?
Sure.
I like tired Daphne because I'm getting
20.
mad Scrooge vibes.
Not naturally.
20?
Yeah.
I wish I could whisper to you.
I'll go over there.
No. It's fine. You can tell that she's 100% honest. She's being very, very literal with her. Not literal, but it may be exaggerated, but she's very frustrated, and you can tell that it's mainly directed towards this point. And she continues on, and she says, but with the past week, what we've been through, and what you've helped sort of mitigate, I've had to increase the guard.
Are the cultists back or
No.
new peasants? New?
As far as we're aware, the cultists aren't anywhere in the city anymore. But I'd like it to stay that way. When you get rid of a pest, you try to do your best to keep them out.
Sure. Well, what's the new problem?
The new problem's the old problem. It's just keeping people safe. And the festival takes a lot of our time. A lot of people from around certain places that are less favourable love to join in the city at the time and take advantage of other people, and it's why I have so many more against the entrances. It's ne'er-do-wells do well at the Luminescent Festival. I do my best. It's a stressful time.
Pretty sure a lot of the stuff we went over, that we went through, is going to be in that letter that we brought to you. If you have any questions about anything we saw.
Well, what I can tell you, she sets the letter down. Truthfully, it's wonderful to see you again. I'm glad you made it. But did you accomplish your goal?
No.
Kalent, they would have killed us.
We
We're going back. We're going back.
just want to be more prepared for
Yes.
facing that sort of thing, especially when the stakes are fairly high.
Yeah.
Kalent being seemingly alive and like, it's not something we want to march into the tower and potentially let them out without knowing as much as we can.
Smart. Did you have something to say, Philip?
I think, if anything, what we accomplished was at least answering some of the questions about why the marsh is what it is. It's not natural. It was made to be that way on purpose, to stop people from getting to the tower. And it wasn't because Kalinth was trying to stop them from getting there. It's because the people who locked Kalinth away were trying to make sure that nobody was able to let him out.
You said this is all here.
And a request for more money to be paid more, I think.
Yeah. We debriefed Barrett.
I'll deal with that then.
We saw a lot of creatures in there.
The
You
best
went
I
about
can
night-
tell you. The best I can tell you is that I don't know what this will do. I don't know how good this information will be. It's at least some leverage against the council for some of the improvements I'm hoping to make. But knowing what I know of the council, they'll probably ask you to probe your heads. I can't go on word alone.
To probe our heads?
Yes. They'll look for information, they'll look for confirmation of what you say. So, as far as I'm concerned, you've done enough. You've done the right thing for Sisted. You have my trust. And certainly Dean Vitogan, he kinda keep you from uncovering things, and he has to see that you've done good work, so he'll be on our side. But that still leaves 6 other members of the council. And the councilman himself, the judiciary. It'll be harder to convince.
We have an insignia that the guy was wearing, Terry.
Oh yeah.
It looks a little something like this.
You draw it out. She looks at it. Can I say something I've seen before, but perhaps they have.
I have some soil samples too, and water samples.
Oh yeah.
You can keep those.
Thank you. I really wanted them, but
I would not like them. I've seen the marshes.
do you have samples?
How far into the marshes have you been?
No offense, but I don't think I need to keep the marshes with me to know how bad they are.
I just thought maybe you'd learn something.
Good luck, guys.
You're most likely correct.
Thanks.
I was part of the first expedition.
We noticed that there are some changes the deeper you get in, specifically to the water in particular. Don't know if you made it.
You
far
said it
enough.
was in the notes, yes.
Should be, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste your time,
Fair enough.
and I have very little of my own. So I do not mean to be rude. Is there anything else pressing that you could talk to me about right now?
Do you mind
The
if we,
festival's in about 7 hours.
do you mind if we go talk to Horace?
She kind of looks through some stuff. You know, I love good help. Guards are so prime here at Sisted. Aye, but sometimes, you know, those shift changes, boy, they can come at some of the most inconvenient times.
And what might those times?
I mean, for
be?
instance, there's a shift change in about 10 minutes that they lay those hallways right down there in the prison cells for at least 10 minutes at a time before the new person comes through.
That kind of seems like a really unsafe idea.
I know, I've told them time and time again.
Right, we hate to be taking up your time. It's probably best if we head out.
Yeah.
Odd's place to be.
We have an appointment in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And the fact that it takes 10 minutes to get down there, it's
Yeah.
worse.
It's just really very inconvenient.
If I could only find good help.
I mean,
if
yeah.
only the woodpecker died.
Well, I can ask around and see if
I'll
anybody.
get
Phil,
Casa.
yeah. Where?
Yeah, no, maybe we can ask around for. Let's
Yeah,
have
yeah.
just head out. I
Thank you,
start
Daphne,
like
so
pushing
much.
Philip out the door.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daphne.
And if you need any help, let us know.
Oh, don't worry. You'll be hearing from me.
Oh no.
All right, we go down.
Well,
What's up?
should we? I mean, she wants some help finding some more guards. I thought. It was,
No, don't.
It was,
We are the guards.
we are the guards.
oh. Huh.
She was letting us know that the hallway was going to be empty
Yeah.
for 10 minutes,
I'm
so
supposed
we
to
could.
start cleaning my. We have to start cleaning my equipment more. I don't want to.
Okay.
It's
I
a
don't want to give them a bad
temporary guard.
reputation.
Well,
Trying to
gauntlets
get
are
the-
actually fine. They're perfectly good.
Oh.
So yeah, it's not difficult to kind of make your way down there. The one thing that's a little, can I get a group? I'll say a performance check. Just kind of moving through and trying to convince them that like, oh, we're just a little bit turned around. They're like, ah, boy, you know, oh, we gotta get this place. We gotta, and then also trying to like direct yourselves towards the jail cells and everything.
Do not let me talk, friends.
Oh my god.
It's a natural one.
I know.
Ooh, hello me.
Whistle.
That's a natural one.
Holy shit! Raph, I would just keep it. Just keep a hold on it. Just really give me a second. Nameless.
I'm a 15 and Panther's a 16.
Damn, Panther's
Ollie?
damn good.
10.
Liam.
14.
How are the Panther not the most convincing?
Can you play me that noise again, there, Raph? Wonderful.
The big dog's the most convincing one. Like, yeah, I belong down here.
It's like, hey,
I hope these guards are really stupid.
Oh no,
Hopefully.
Natural
they got them all.
They got
20s.
he got like 3 natural
They
20s.
got them straight 20s.
So, you guys are trying to move through. You guys are trying to like,
Trying.
just oh wow, whoa, Philip. There's a moment where you kind of you already are very unaware of what you're doing in the first place. And you kind of keep bumping into guards as you're trying to clean your
Hello, fellow
armor.
guard.
And, yeah,
Hi.
you're making more conspicuous statements than is necessary.
I work here now.
Yeah, like things that are just like not lies to
That you believe.
but like outright just confusing and weird. Click whistle. You're kind of doing like the Kronk thing of like like you're
14.
not to that it necessarily affects, but like it amounts to that where you're just like do walking through hallways.
Totally fine. Don't worry about the bird person.
You kind of had it in your head. You had it in your head that like if I'm louder in this situation, we're sneakier because we're a group. If we're a loud group, we're the Mountain Dews.
We're the Mother Dudes.
Yeah. The rest of you kind of keep them in line, and I'm like, that's okay.
Surprised me
Just
10
leave it alone.
Do we
Leave
get
it
insurance?
I think so. I think they will.
alone. What are our benefits?
Do we get dental?
'Cause
I
they're
could really use
loving
some
my
dental.
Is there a good severance package?
Yeah, you get tenure.
10 years?
As you guys come towards the jail cells, though, one of the guards is like walking up the steps and is about to walk past you, and then notices your guys' trajectory and, excuse me?
Hello.
Oh, go ahead.
No, what are you doing here?
Oh, Daphne sent us down.
Daphne sent you
Yes.
to do what?
To stand here while the guards change.
We're helping out since there are, I think she said, pissants and pests.
Yes, because of the Luminescent Festival.
Go ahead and give me a deception check.
Okay. No, this one just rolled. No.
While this happens, I want to kind of position myself so Philip is between me and this guard.
Yeah, I'm just.
That is an 8.
I think. Natural 20.
He like looks at you all, and he sees you start to kind of position yourself, and sees Panther,
Who's looking real convincing.
and he looks at Philip, who's like,
What do they have to eat around here?
and he just kind of, yep, and moves along.
I cannot believe that worked. I thought I was going to have to put him down.
It was the spaghetti we all ate. I put something in it. Surprise.
Dude, thanks.
Kidding. I'm kidding. I'm so
What?
kidding. No, I'm
I thought it
kidding.
was cheese.
It's okay.
You guys move down the steps, and he is among a collection of other, like he's in his own solitary cell. Horace is. He's sitting slumped in the corner. There's a couple other prisoners in the hallway, but he's laying down in the corner and just dirtier. He's still in his clothes, but certainly has been sitting there for a while.
I want to take my staff, bang it against the things, and be like, "Hey, Horace, here." Come over here. We have some questions for you.
What do you want from me?
It's nothing bad. We just need to ask you some questions.
Ask them.
I don't really want to talk loud, so
I
can
don't
you
really
please
wanna
come over
move.
here? Great. Well, we all do things we don't want. I cast suggestion.
What's your DC?
That's a great spell.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Natural 1.
He
I suggest you come here.
stands up and walks to the bars.
That's pretty good.
As he comes closer, you see this sort of like
Okay.
very, very light green texture to his eyes.
Ew.
Like it's like green yellow.
Ew.
And as he gets to the bars, it just fades. What?
We had a little run-in with an old friend of yours. Galen?
No friend of mine. Old arcanist. I don't see what I have to do with her.
He probably was the one who made you kill your friends.
Great.
And he still lives.
Then
But we could stop that. If you can tell us
Only
everything.
for them. What is the point?
We are
Then-
trying to kill Galent, and you are the only one who knows about him. Them.
What is you want to know? What do you think you're gonna learn?
anything we can at this point.
What's the question? I can't.
How much do you know about the history of Colenth? Everything they did when they were
My father
making
had
things.
collections, things that were taken from the library. There's a great library. During the wars of, God, you guys don't know history. During the wars of Grania and Bovasia, the formation of Grania, a great library once stood south of here, some 100 miles. Lots of books were lost. My dad found a lot of them. My dad, his friend. I read a lot of those. I read a lot of accounts of Colenth.
nothing to the effect of just some stuff about what they were capable of, and truthfully, it's scary.
What are some of the things that he is capable of? They are capable of.
Building materials that are uncannily crafted, things that shouldn't exist the way they are. You're able to pluck thoughts, to implant memories, things like that. Things you don't want to mess with. They were also capable of technological advancement and wonder. They were able to, I don't know, I heard of one account where they made an entire ship fly. I don't understand most of what I read.
In anything that
Because
you
it's
read.
mostly gibberish. It's some half-assed cleric somewhere talking about some one random time they saw this person, and it's a 3-paragraph passage. You want to talk to me like I know everything, and I know maybe more than most people, but what I know is so truncated and worthless, I don't know what it does for anything. So ask me a question that's pointed and directed, and maybe I can have an answer for you.
Did anything say how to kill him? Them.
I'd imagine with the same things that kill everything else.
How did they learn how to do the things they're able to do?
It's a real fucking wonder to me.
Do you know anything about the people that they associated with?
I mean, they associated with plenty. You know, they helped build Sisted. That's one of those things that they never like to really talk about. But I mean, outside of that, there's a few accounts of Kalenth. Some of the inventions they made were for powerful people across the sea.
Did they have any that like trapped people?
One more time, sorry.
Do they have any that like trapped people? Put them in like a
Nothing specific
dimension.
to the stuff I've read. Not anything that's written in a blueprint or anything. If they did, they kept it hidden because they didn't want people to know that they could.
Did you ever read anything about? We've reason to believe Kalenth is currently located in the Tower of Blight. Do you have anything about the people who might have put them there?
As far as I understand, records show the Tower of Blight appeared. It just erected at some point, and we were just stuck with it.
Were there any stories about somebody named Ter?
Not Terry, but there was an account of someone called Terrigan.
Galinda's the one that called them Terry. It's very possible that it was a shortened form of Terrigan used to indicate familiarity.
You mean like a nickname?
No, his name was Terry, not Nick.
Word of the
what
day
did-
calendar, familiarity.
What
And immediately
what
that's
did that
stupid.
passage say specifically?
It's hard to remember. I read it years ago at this point, but I think it said something about friendship and apprenticeship, something like that. Terrigan under Kalenth. eventual mutual separation. And then there's no other accounts of Terrigan, at least not in the scriptures or documents I've seen of Kalenth and their discoveries.
Did Kalenth, to your knowledge, ever say anything about what they wanted?
What do you mean?
Well, what was the purpose of everything that they were doing?
I mean, nothing so specific. No past, nothing I read ever said they decided to do this because of this. No, that's one of the great debates of archaeologists and historians about that figure. What was the intention? By all accounts, it's very neutral. You don't build a city for people because you're evil. But maybe you do it because it benefits you.
Was there like
What do you? Sorry. What do you know about? What do you know about the Ember?
The Ember. What's that?
Miles here. Is that what the giant lodestone is called?
Yeah,
that's
no,
a
you're
lodestone.
Okay, cool.
saying
I
it
just
right.
wanted to make sure.
You're good.
You're not familiar? Alright, I'd be curious to know.
I don't know what the Ember is.
It's a thing. It's somewhere in Sestead. I'd be curious if the Ember was a part of Sestead before Kalenth built the walls or not. That's all. If you're unfamiliar, then you can have.
Okay.
That building that we were in the Hills of Madness, that was... Do you think it was made by Kalenth? Yes? No?
No, that's Illithid technology. It's their ship. That's why I went out there. That's their nautiloid. It's called something different in their language, I'm sure. No, that was not made by... Those were made by unearthly hands. You felt the texture of that stuff. There's no way that was made by anything that exists here.
I don't know.
He looks at you with a new light. He's like, oh.
Okay.
It was a good question, Philip. Don't listen to him. Is there a way that Kalenth could have been working with the Illithid?
No. No. There's many accounts of their disdain for the mind flares. I don't know why. But all I know is they did not care for them. Or maybe they were just super interested in them. Mind flayers have been known to probe thoughts themselves.
Is there anything that you read, speaking of probing thoughts? It may not be Kalenth specific, but hypothetically, is there a way for someone very, very far away to influence and or teleport people through dreams or thought, or we were shown something
Certainly
specific?
possible. You're talking about magic. You're talking about something that can exist when it shouldn't, and it's possible. I mean, I've seen great feats, but I would imagine what you're saying to be very powerful and very difficult. But it is possible, yes. Traveling through someone's dreams or traveling through their mind or making them see something from a great distance would require massive strength and an energy source, really. You wouldn't be able to do that just if you were a regular living being.
An energy source like a lodestone?
Possible. It'd have to be pretty large.
Okay. We may have an artifact of Kalent's. When we took it to the Tower of Blight, we were told never to bring it near Kalent. Was there any information about maybe a
Any
box?
information. Box? Well, any information about most of Kalent's treasures or items are undocumented. It's, yet again, one of the great mysteries of this figure by many historians. They were very secretive. There is an account of a box.
What did it say?
Not that it said anything, I'm just saying that there's an account of a box, and that it belonged to them.
Was it was it a particularly precious item to them, or was it just casually mentioned?
It was a... Imagine that you looked at an item list, and there just happened to be a listing for that box. There was no
Description?
feeling, there's no description of it, or rather there's a description of what it looks like, sure, but there's no feeling to it, there's no manner of what it meant to them.
What was the description of the box? Like what it looked like?
Square, regular box with ornate sort of designs and whirring mechanisms. Few specific handholds, but proved very difficult for most people to operate. And with a device like that, it's better left alone. You don't know what you open a box to. And the only actual account of it, how did you get it?
Did your dad's friend have it?
Yes. How did you get it?
We found it.
It's not really an answer, is it?
It found us.
I find a pen on the ground. I find it. It's mine now. Cool.
It was given to us
By who?
You.
by the daughter of that man.
Have fun with Kalenth. And he turns around and he goes back down to sleep.
Hey, what's
Or
wrong?
not to sleep, but he goes back down to lay down.
Hey, what's wrong with your eyes?
My eyes.
You seem to have something green and crusty.
It was her suggestion.
Oh.
Wait.
Didn't mean to.
I was
didn't mean
like-
to send you down a rabbit hole.
I was like, is there a thing? Like,
no,
what was the
no,
thing?
No, just her suggestion.
It's clear.
Flavor text is what I'm doing.
Should I not have told him about?
I think that he might have. I don't.
Liam, you understand? You guys got about maybe like 30 seconds.
We should get out of here.
Okay.
I think he's been as selfish as we can. We can head outside and talk about what we saw, but we should.
I remember Ray saying that she had someone that she cared really deeply about who was her friend. I wonder if it's him.
Horace?
She talked about somebody that she was friends with when she was younger.
We should walk. We'll walk and talk.
Yeah.
Thank you, Horace.
Oh, is there a shift over already?
Ray's,
Yes,
Ray's
Yeah.
safe,
over.
just so you know.
There's a little bit of a head turn, but not much.
I don't know where she is, but if we see her again, we'll let her know you say hi. And then we
Alright,
walk.
I'm pushing.
And we're
I wasn't necessarily counting seconds there. I was just trying to see if you wanted to say anything.
No,
else.
that's all.
Okay, I'm gonna need some stealth rolls because
No.
this is kind of a narrow hallway, and you guys are trying to get through it and not be noticed. So go and give me stealth. Just so
you know, Philip, you are at disadvantage.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Philip?
9.
18.
15.
5.
I am 12, Panther 17.
You guys are able to keep the clunkers from. I mean, like, Liam, you're sort of trying to keep you're just kind of a tall dude, and you're just kind of like trying to hide in places, and Click Whistle kind of moves you over to like better places to hide as they like guards pass over. Philip, right before a guard turns the corner, you're just kind of like, oh, okay. And then you kind of like come over to the side as the guard like turns, and you guys are able actually to, as they walk by.
Should we get to know our coworkers more?
Oh shit. Okay. Raph, can I get a bow?
Oh
Okay. So it got interesting. As he like comes down, you see. Hey, what are you guys doing down here?
Taking a lunch break?
No. What should be down here? Help! Help!
Whoa! We don't need any help. Daphne sent us down. We're extra hires. It's for the festival.
She asked us to help while we were short-handed.
No! Help! And you hear like 4, maybe 5 other. Like,
It's so funny because actually what we were doing was leaving.
Yeah, can I just shush. Like I just want to like knock him out.
Is he in our way? Like
Yes.
between us and the exit?
Yes.
How tall is the hallway?
Tall?
Yeah,
Probably about 8 feet.
We don't got caught.
not useful.
Can you teleport people besides yourself?
I cannot.
He's just standing there with it. Go ahead and make me
Death roll.
a.
I'm like scared to. I've been rolling like shit.
It's gonna be a strength check because you're trying to forcibly put your
Even though
talons on the.
I'm good at pressure points and stuff like this.
You're not doing pressure points. You said you put your hands on his face and said shh.
I don't know. I mean, like I want to like take it. I just want to knock him out. Like I don't know how to
She'll
like.
disable terminus.
A vulture death grip?
Yeah.
I can't.
A vulture death
A
grip.
vulture death grip.
Yeah.
The
Like
vultures,
some
my
sort-
favorite
like
Star Trek.
Fine.
wanna, like,
It is a dexterity ability check.
Thank you.
You do not get your proficiency bonus. You just get your dexterity modifier. There's already still +5.
Yes.
He's getting a Constitution saving throw against it.
21.
No. Like you kind of just like wait. And he kind of stands there and you're like, listen, this is fucking good. And like you are able to do like this little like pinch move and you go, and he just.
We got to go. That only lasts for 15 seconds. Let's go.
Less.
Go.
I mean, are people gonna? All right.
No,
You have 3 seconds to decide what you want to do.
We're running.
Go,
We're
go,
going.
go, go,
We're
go,
running.
go,
Okay, you guys all start running. You're running down the hallway, and like you still hear like you're hearing like 4 other guards like coming down the stairs. There's a hallway that like leads past those stairs that you can kind of like try to get around them. But the speed you guys move, you guys like pass them as they like walk down. They're sort of like, hey, where are you? Who are you? As you run past, and
We're catching him.
I'm going to teleport because we are going up there behind us,
Mhm.
but we've been behind where they are.
Yeah, but you can only move 15 feet behind you, correct?
Oh yeah, they're not. They're more than that behind us.
Yeah, they're more than that behind you.
Okay, they're fine then.
Like they were coming, they're like halfway down the stairs as they see you run by.
Okay.
We're chasing the intruders.
Yes, we're gonna
You
get
check that. They split up. You take that way.
Go ahead and give me a deception check.
That might be the most competent thing you've ever done. Oh, buddy.
15.
Yeah, with both of them getting 4, with all of them getting 4s, then yeah, you're good.
Damn.
They're like, oh, okay. And then you get down the stairs, they turn the corner and they run that
Oh my
way.
God.
You guys are able to get out of the compound, like after you get up the stairs, you guys slow down. You guys just kind of like power walk away, and you guys get out of the garrison.
Don't
and
think
you are-
Daphne's gonna be super happy with that. It's alright.
I think at this point, she's used to it.
Our group isn't that recognizable. Glances at the snake person, the bird person, and the panther.
And the guy who walks around with these giant hammers and pinky boots.
Yes,
and all these,
I'm,
like,
I'm not
wires and
inconspicuous
shit.
as
Who
well.
has
And
a
it's
folk
like-
song about
and
him?
this-
Like
Tall half orc in like rusted armor.
Yeah.
Costa
Who
his
knew?
teeth.
I'd be the most.
I know, I was like,
Very,
who the hell's
very,
normal?
very specific shield.
I
Yeah.
feel like the most normal person out of all
And
of
an elk.
us.
Just
And
like
an
And
elk.
an elk.
at
I
a
forgot
glance,
him.
you could
I mean,
you could
Fran
grab
could do
at
that
least
side,
3
yeah.
pieces of information that would identify positively, exclusively our group. Oh well.
All right.
You
Okay.
guys are out of the garrison. You guys kind of feel comfortable, like you guys made it away. You start to hear like very kind of distant, little tiny like bell, like.
We should probably get out.
Let's get out of here.
Get out of here.
So what's next? Do we want to stop at Nereth, or do we want to stop at Lorethka?
Well, I gotta go to Well, I gotta talk to both of them, but I gotta go to Lorethka first. If you want to go to Nereth, that's fine. Like, it's. Like, I can go.
I'm gonna hit him in the back
It's
of the
whatever.
head.
Okay.
What'd you do?
I hit you in the back of the head.
Oh.
It's 4. On a Constitution save, I assume.
Oh no. She's not trying to
Oh, no, I'm
hurt you.
just like-
She's just trying to like she's just smacking you in the back of
like-
the head.
I know it's just something like.
That's up to you. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
What I do?
Oh.
He's just talking about how he like
Oh.
just forward.
I thought we had a whole entire conversation about this. I know that you're not stupid. I know you're stupid, but I know you don't forget things that easily. Pretty sure somebody's already said we'd go have this conversation with you and yelled at you about it.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that, like, if you want to do something else, like, it's fine.
No, we could stop at
Like, oh, yeah,
Lorethka.
alright.
I mean,
Okay.
we all already said we're going with you.
Okay. Like,
Master Philippa, would you like me to hold your hand?
It's funny because
With what?
How would he? He doesn't.
we also didn't hear any of that because
Yeah.
it's in his head.
He puts down his antler.
Oh. Do you? I was
Is
gonna-
that comfortable for him?
I don't know.
Is it so much holding your hand as you holding his antler?
Well, I mean, that's like a, what, 19 on animal handling? After a 1 on an intelligence check.
He's very clear.
It wasn't a natural one. It wasn't a natural one. It was a 2.
Sorry.
I take it back.
Is this comfortable?
He seems to. It seems to be a comfort of you. He was trying to be like, oh, like, is this hard? Is this, is this a hardship for you? And you put out your hand, and so he's like, great, it's a hardship. And he seems to be like, yeah, we're doing a good job.
All right.
Flanagan is very sweet. All right, we go towards the mining company, yeah?
Making your way southward.
Let's go.
Could I
I was like I was gearing away from downtown for that specific.
I was gonna sing it anyways, but
I was on the
Chris-
south, so it was down regardless.
true.
I kind of want to see, like, I kind of want to just do a general check for any, like, pests and piss ants, because I'm actually, like, really interested in what, like, Daphne was saying about that. And I actually, as part of my background, finally, I actually have a total, I have a plug-in to a criminal underground, so I'd be able to, like...
I mean, like, go ahead and give me a perception check then, as you guys walk southward.
Can I also look for pet store?
Pet store?
We're looking for
Yes.
things that start with P.
Can I look for Pet Star?
Can I look for place of barding?
Yeah.
I look for? Grocer.
17.
17.
25.
Damn!
Christ.
You know where every Petco in the state is.
And that one singular PetSmart that tried to run them out of business.
There's a bit of conversation with a few people. You walk up to them, very abrasively ask them where they would find
Or pets.
where
That's
pet
it.
store.
They just tell you immediately
Pet
out of
store.
fear.
Yeah, there's a lot of like uncomfortable like looking at the panther like I know of one in the southeast part of town.
What's it called?
Pet store.
It's called
Pets are us.
Bananas and Bonobos.
That's a weird name.
Ah, it's a grocery store and a pet shop.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
The bonobos!
I like that apparently bonobo monkeys and spaghetti exist in this,
I
in
love
this
it.
universe.
And bananas.
Why not?
Who created spaghetti?
Now we have to like actually come up with an area of the world that has like people with Italian accents specifically.
You guys have never been to the Shanxi.
Reiki is just a bunch of Italian gnomes.
They could happen.
Every day we hit to the rock.
And every day it gets a little easier.
The first the hole is the hardest.
So we found a pet store.
Yeah, you find one. You know where one is.
There's a pet store called Bananas and Bonobos, and I really want to go.
I mean,
God damn it.
I mean,
We'll swing by. That sounds like a fun place.
I think we could all have. I also learned I can make blink dogs.
You can make blink dogs?
Yeah,
Make them.
Are those
I
dogs with
can
eyelids?
conjure them. Yes.
I can make them.
Just
Fear me! You see a skeleton and then meat and then
Oh.
the skin and then
A la
the fur.
Coraline.
Yeah. You make it to the Thorgal Mining Company. Along the way, it's not something that's very visible. It's not something that's very clearly like, there's
a
one.
criminal.
Well, you do
See an owl look in an alley that looks like he's covering for like a drug deal
Yeah.
inside,
It's
or
like, "Hey, kids."
There-
someone brushed
there
past
are-
the
there
crowd
are
that's
one or two moments when
probably
you do look down
pickpocketing,
alleys
pocketing.
though that you you kind of far reaches of that alley you kind of do see one or two people just kind of lingering and loitering and maybe discussing something with each other, but it's a little too far to tell. 2 or 3 times you kind of see that kind of activity, like people watching people more than they are just like, oh, we're just hitting on the stoop, or we're just sitting here talking, and it's like, no, they're just kind of watching people go by.
I don't happen to recognize any of them with my Crimson Dawn
No,
past. Okay, cool.
no, nobody's like.
Nobody I know. No, well, yeah, but like I mean, like a face.
I know. But that's what I mean. It's like it's not.
What's the Crimson Dawn gang sign?
I don't know. I am not that bad.
You make
at
it to the
names.
Thorgal Mining Company. What you do see is that there is a large, sort of, I'd call it the limos of carriages. Like the first half of it seems to be where people would actually rest or like sit down, and the back half is like a wagon. So there are supplies and things upon it.
Okay, good.
and-
Oh, I
got-
thought
I know, I
dance
thought-
floor. I was like,
No, I thought it was a hearse.
I also
Oh.
Well, there
They
are
took like 3 days to.
there are 4 wrapped
Oh.
up,
It's probably the family coming for the funeral.
oh no.
wrapped up, body-sized bundles sitting in the back of it.
Bundles of despair.
Philip, if this is too much for you, I will. My offer still stands to tell her.
A few of the dwarves are kind of walking around, and it seems like they're hitching up the horses. They're getting things ready. They're putting supplies on, and Lerthka's not outside, but there's probably about like 3 or 4 dwarves like kind of maintaining all this stuff as you guys approach.
No, I'll do this one. So we don't see her outside. So
No.
All right. I'm gonna just enter then.
I'm going with him though.
Follow.
Same.
There's modicum of activity in the sense that like some people are, they're all speaking in Dwarven to each other and just kind of like moving things, and one's pointing over there, and there's a couple of phrases in common, like get that over here, and make sure she has that. She's got to make sure that that goes back to the clan, and they're moving like a chest, and like a small one. It's probably about that big, and you see her sort of behind the desk, kind of going through a ledger and making notes. She has travel gear on, and she's got her coat, and she looks up at. It is fine. Keep trying.
Okay.
I'm gonna go hold her hand.
It's warm. Coarse. It actually feels like it goes through a lot of work. She doesn't not let you. She doesn't like squeeze it or anything, but she just doesn't not let you. And continues to write.
May we have a moment of your time? Possibly in private?
No. This is the time I have to spare. I have to get this done. We may go for Reykjavik in minutes. You can say it around these people.
I just want to
This is
start
my
off.
family, this is my clan.
I just want to start off by letting you know we are not bringing news of his death. We know who has him, and he's told us that he's alive.
Did you see him?
We weren't able to see him. However, they had no reason to lie to us. And there's something that they want from us. And
Then I have no reason to believe them. If they want something from you, they could say anything, yes?
they're not somebody who's... They're not a good person. However, they're also not deceitful. They're too powerful to need to be deceitful. As bad as they are, lying isn't what they do.
You just... She steps down from the counter and walks up to you. Do not forget him.
We're not. I promise you, the reason that we came back is because we know what position he's in now. And we came back to prepare for exactly what we need to do to bring him back. If we kept pushing in and we failed, nobody would know where he is. We're making sure that we do this right. I know.
She grabs your hand. Thank you.
Of course. If there's anything we can do to help your clan with everything that's going on, just let us know. In the meantime, I promise that I'm spending every moment making sure that we get ready to bring him back.
We will be gone for a while. It will take some time to get these back to home. To be buried with the clan. But when I come back, perhaps we can buy you a drink. Or something. I just have no guarantee about when we will come back.
Whenever you come back is fine. We'll buy the drinks. We'll have Gornal with us.
I hope so.
We will.
Gives you a hug. Releases and then goes back to her desk. Picks up her pen. Starts to write again. We have long travel. If you ever make your way to Reykjavik.
Oh, I've been wanting to for a while now. I've heard it's a beautiful country.
Yes. Yes, it can be. Thank you. You hear like a clang and she goes, I have to go sick. And then in Dwarf, you just kind of hear these shouting, and she's just very like pointedly at someone who's like, like dropped all of their plates on the ground and broken and shattered everywhere.
Safe travels, Loretka. We promise we'll come back.
She kind of like nods and then continues to berate the person who dropped the dishes.
We should get out of there.
Yeah.
I would like to go stand in front of the 4 people.
Sure.
And I would like to pray for them and their family.
These are nice sort of mini service. Dolora. About 5 minutes and simple rites. Move on.
Just do a yeah. I'm gonna do the same thing, just kind of a moment.
Prayer to Arwa.
Yeah.
Now,
Alright.
Where's the Bonobo place in comparison to
Yeah, I
Nerith?
know.
opposite.
Opposite.
Nerith is the southwest.
We're closer to.
Yeah, what are we
You're
close?
you're equidistant.
Oh.
Do we want to do bonobos first, or do we want to do sexy elf first? Drow.
I kind of want to talk to Nerith.
Drows are
we
elves.
can always split.
I'm also interested in going to Nerith first.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Unless you want it to be a
Solo mission.
I
Don't worry, Nerith can handle Bruce.
I love that brand.
No,
You
let's
seem
go.
nervous. Why are you nervous?
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been nervous in my life.
You're like sweating kind of profusely.
There's just like
You're
Am I? I should stop home first. You're right. I should stop home before I go to
No,
Nerith.
no.
We should go
No,
to
we're
Nerith.
going,
Let's
we're
go to
going.
Nerith.
I might have
Let's go to
hyperbolized
Nerith.
it.
Just sit him on Flanagan.
you do kind of get just manhandled, like picked up and put on the.
This is
Deal.
fine. Oh, this is fine. This is great. I love this for me.
So do we.
Wait, but
Alright.
didn't he already say yes to going on a date with you? I'm confused.
Yeah, but like he, at the time, he might have thought that I was gonna die. I mean, I did.
Oh, the classic.
Ask someone out when you think they're gonna die.
That's fair.
All right, we go to Nerith.
Yeah, you arrive outside the establishment. The lanterns around are semi lit. Nerith's building actually is the only one without any lantern at all.
That's not a good sign.
Oh, he's gonna love this festival.
No, no.
Oh boy.
Making some interesting designs on it makes some interesting lighting patterns upon the design outside of his establishment.
You got this.
I don't got this.
No, you do.
All right, I go in. It is not confident.
You do the sliding door. It's it is a purple hued light as last time. As you step in, and you see there's no window. So you'd have to step in if you want.
Dang it!
There's no.
There's no
Try to look
windows?
through the window?
No.
He wouldn't be able to do his mood lighting if there was sun coming in.
Yeah.
I didn't think it through, guys. I just want to see. Sir,
I know,
crap.
and that's what I was trying. I was very politely trying.
I know
to
you
close the
were.
windows, but there is a door that you could walk through if you want to see. So Liam stepped in. Has anybody else stepped in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we're stepping in.
Okay, well she was giving me a signal of looking through the window.
I
None of
asked
you
if
else-
you were
and
going.
nobody else said that they stepped in, so that was why I was asking.
I walk with him.
I walk.
I literally. Okay. I'm going in with them.
Okay, we're there. We're in.
I'm on your. I feel
Well,
like
no,
and I
you
have
literally
been-
said we're gonna give him a moment to go in by himself. So I was like, oh, what's going on? So
Oh,
I
we
got
are?
confused. Nope, that was what
No,
I
that's what I
asked.
Should we
said.
go
You
back
all
out?
step in,
Too late now.
and you
Go
guys have
out?
this
I
mini
don't know.
conversation.
Guys, I think we should go outside. I think we should go. Is it weird if we just leave right now?
Good
Nobody's,
news.
nobody's in the.
Why is
Do
everybody
we?
so
Is
weird
we
about
walk
it?
in? Is Nerith there?
Not in the open space.
Great. So what if we stay in the open space and you just keep saying?
All right, so I'm gonna go back to there a little. So like, what are we? Philip, you wanted to talk to Nerith specifically.
Okay. But
What specific things do we have to talk to Nerd about?
oh, does he want to go on a date with you?
Is that? I don't think that's really the whole group's business.
I
Well,
mean, that's all I kind of care
He
about.
knows exactly
honestly.
what
they wanted to, ask him more about these stones. If we have a little more time, maybe there's something more we can,
Yeah.
prepare.
I do want to talk to him about that for sure.
Yeah, something, or like maybe there's some weaponry or something that is especially good against, I don't know, the dead, possibly dead mega wizards. I don't know.
It's entirely possible.
And maybe that other thing that we've been talking about all day.
Yes, I know.
Just in case you forgot.
You hear some steps. Did I hear some fine people in my establishment?
Happy festival day.
As he steps out, and
That
he's just like,
starts tomorrow.
ah. Well, it looks like you survived.
We made it back.
We're not dead.
I hope so.
So that's good. That's good
It'll
news.
be an interesting day for me. He's down the towel. He's got a shirt on this time, though.
Did you say he's just in a towel?
No,
It's down the
Sweat
towel.
towel.
I literally heard he's just in a towel, and I was like, what
It's
the
a
heck?
very
Thirst
open
trap.
shirt, though. It's down to
Of course
here.
it is.
Yeah.
He's French. It always is.
Is this so? The lantern was out?
Oh yeah, no, it worked a lot. It actually was really helpful. We didn't. We used it.
Well,
when
it
we were
didn't
done.
die, so it seems like it did something.
Yeah, it worked a treat.
That's great.
But
Are you here to return it? What's the deal?
no. Well, we wanted to. We're going to have to go back. And we're wondering if maybe there's another little something.
I was hoping at some point I could possibly pick your brain a little bit more about lodestones, potentially over that drink that I'd mentioned last time we were in here.
Look at those things over there, guys.
Oh wow.
Wow.
The luminescent festival.
My friends are very, very cool, as you can tell.
Yes, as I can tell, they well settled. They have quite a way around them.
Subtlety.
Except for
Zero.
your friend
What are
over
we-
the tall
what are we
one
looking
is,
at?
delightfully.
I usually just stick with delightful.
Delightful is good. Unaware was what I was trying to say. Suddenly we have the drink between you and I.
Yes.
Is that right?
I seem to remember something similar.
You made it back alive, so that was sort of the parameters, as I recall.
Forward here,
Festival.
and
You are certainly.
you know, I think I heard something outside. You should all check it out.
I,
I just, I don't wanna catch-
Ask me about lodestones now, only to.
I didn't. I
It just
didn't
sort
want
of
to catch
depends
whatever
on how
cough she
much
had.
time you would like to do. Oh, I don't know if this is the correct events, but if you would like to waste time later talking about lodestones, that's fine. But if you would like to waste time talking about lodestones now, that's also sure.
oh yeah, the pet store. We wanted to go to the pet
wanted to
store.
go to the pet
we have to go.
store.
Yes,
Yeah,
we wanted to
bananas,
go.
bonobos,
Yes,
balloons.
we're going to the. Yes,
Yeah.
the- you wanted to go now, right?
I thought we were.
Yes, we do.
I thought-
Don't
Yeah.
worry. We're
We
gonna
talked
go.
to-
We're gonna go to the pet store. We're gonna go to the pet store.
Oh,
But I thought we all
We're
wanted
going
to
to the
go.
pet
Okay.
store. No, you're coming with us.
Oh.
You're coming with us.
You
to the
can
pet store.
go. It's fine. Your friends are very fun.
You guys think that Liam
Or
looks
do
like
I
as
keep
red
them
as the
around?
ember? It's really kind of
So
funny.
we're outside.
I grabbed Philip and like.
Give me a strength check.
Okay.
He's big and dumb. Like I don't know
That's
if you
true.
can move him.
I don't know.
He just falls.
I know. Oh god. Oh
My
god.
legs just don't move and just.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh. It's a 12. 12.
What's your constitution?
My constitution's
14.
a plus. Oh.
14. Kind of can't move him. He's just kind of a big dude.
Come on.
What?
Come on, we're going to the pet
It's
store.
alright. I don't. I'm.
Alright,
I'm just
well.
about the only person besides Click Whistle that doesn't have a pet, so you can head there without me. Cellular doesn't either. Just children.
But
Wait.
has a greasy teeth.
Did we squeeze him through the
Oh,
sliding door?
no, he hears it from the distance. Turtle is just.
The sending stones I no longer know how to make.
I
You have all left.
Yeah.
Yeah, we out.
In the worst way ever.
We are so settled, guys. I think we did.
Liam will ask him for us over the drink.
But I didn't tell him what
Oh. What did
Hey,
you
it's
want?
not all about you.
The door closes.
We're trying to get our friend laid here,
Why is everybody mad?
man.
Don't you come from that church?
Remember?
couple things.
Like the nuns.
First of all, do you,
Oh.
I'm very perceptive, obviously, and I noticed you aren't decorated for the festival.
I didn't realize
Do
Nazareth
we-
was religious.
do
Are you guys
you
still having your
hate
thing while we're
festivals?
doing this right now?
Sorry.
You want some more time?
No.
No, we're good.
No,
Okay.
sorry. We're chuckle fuckers.
Jesus. Can you start again? I'm sorry. I forgot the
I'm
question.
as I'm very perceptive. I noticed your establishment isn't decorated for the festival. Is that? Do you have feelings about the festival in particular?
No, I have no ill feelings, if that's what you mean. It's just simply have no time.
Fair
In
enough.
the spectrum of to go get lights to put up on the establishment to then take them down later, I just don't understand. Sure, it is a celebration. So I will go celebrate with other lights. People do not come to me for the lights.
Fair enough. I mean, you seem to be able to do pretty
I
pretty
could
interesting
think of
things
the
with
present
lights.
this week. I said no desire.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What are your questions about the lodestones?
So obviously we went into the
As he pulls out like a bottle,
yeah.
sets it on the. We did that to go. I like my shot.
Fair enough. I feel very similarly about my own. So
Are the doors made of glass?
No.
Okay.
Damn, I
I
know.
know. I want to know what's happening.
You said there were no windows.
I
Is
just
there
I
a
don't know. I
spider-sized hole between the door and the wall?
There
Whoa!
is. For sure.
There's a what?
There's a spider-sized.
Hole between the door and the wall.
Guys, I might not be very good at things, but I know that that's definitely not cool.
This.
I don't want to hear it.
No.
So we obviously went to the plague marshes, and made it fairly deep into them, and came across some terrifying things. But we made it back alive. Obviously, the one thing that became abundantly clear to us, though, is that whatever we are going to find, eventually, when we do make it to the Tower of Blood, is something we're definitely not currently prepared for, and. In particular, one thing I would like to explore of our many routes of preparation for that would be trying to learn more about lodestones. But the first thing that I would need personally before I can start, I tend to learn things by working with them. I like to build things, I like to make things, but I
Do you also
Does-
learn by talking?
sometimes
Either reads.
I just
Or
don't
he
know.
like pours the drinks.
Thank you. Grab it. I just don't know where to find lodestones, and at some point I'd wanted to ask you about it, but that seems to have happened now, as opposed to later.
In my experience, in the long life I have already lived, expediency is key, especially for people like you. Be forthright. Do not have to hide your intentions or find the right words. If your business is with the lodestones, that is something that I know very well, and am happy to share with a keen mind.
Fair enough. It's certainly not the only thing I was looking for information on during this meeting.
Well, we can get to that in a moment. Can't we? Now, first and foremost, the location of lodestones is very particular. It's something that I have a sort of kin with the college here. It's just that it is why I located myself here and sort of where I am from, and can find them all over. They are not something that is uncommon. However, the latent power within each lodestone will vary dependent on size. The further underground you are, the larger lodestones usually reside. They have been extensive studies as well to pinpoint locations of them and the ley lines of the world. If you learned ley lines in your studies,
Familiar.
good teachers. There is something to it. It is a font. It is a collection. It is if the veil itself pours itself into the world at a specific point, and we get to harness some of that choice energy every once in a while. So first, you could strike up a deal with the college. You will not get a better deal than I did, I can guarantee. However, if you want to find them into the wild, follow the ley lines. If you have such a device as to locate them.
What kind of device would that be?
It would be something to the effect of following arcane signature. Think of it as if a dog tracking a scent.
I actually might have just the dog.
That's wonderful. Very unique. On top of it, sometimes you can actually find them in many common. There are different methods to creating magical items, as I'm sure you're aware. As he kind of looks through your hammers, he looks at some of the things on your person. It's like, as you have adeptly made yourself, I can tell. More than one way to skin a cat, which is a terrible saying, but it is the one we have. And through that, we also see how lodestones can vary. We find them in the ground, but we also find them in the. When you create magic items without a lodestone, you actually harness that same energy into a form. So if you were to break down the components of that material, you would be able to create your own. Now it is maybe slightly more focused. It has less malleability than other lodestones, but you would certainly grant yourself the ability to craft something to it. I have certainly done so before.
You mentioned being based here as opposed to where you're from. Where is that?
Far away.
Same.
Any other things you would need to know about lodestones? I can tell you some other things how to utilize them, but that would take a fair amount of trial and hard work.
Those are my favorite parts.
I don't know if I have the time or energy today, but I could set up a time later that we could meet and I could show you some basics.
I'd like that.
Perfect. But
Do you have any plans for the festival tonight? 7 hours from now? What was? I heard someone talking about it earlier.
it's at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yes, it is around 4 right now.
Where did the time go?
Into this bottle, I hope.
Fair enough.
Is there
What are we
anything else
drinking?
I can tell you about the lodestones?
About the lodestones. For some reason, my mind seems to have blanked on me.
That's perfectly okay. I just simply would not like you to leave here famished for information.
If I think of any other questions, I'll just have to come back another time.
If I'm here, Now, what we are drinking, it's a lovely sort of like.
I was like, what about the accent?
It's not exact. You know, like the color of blueberry wine, where it's like it's a clear bottle as well. So it's like it's this very like light purple. And it's not like a thick liquid either. It's not like like a liqueur or anything, but it is not necessarily a wine. If that kind of makes sense. Like the consistency of the liquid is in between that. It's slightly syrupy in the texture, not necessarily the flavor, just sort of molasses-esque.
Right.
But it still goes down very smooth. It's an appropriate amount of sweet. And he says, this is cultured from very fond memory of mine. I have a few bottles downstairs that I make myself. It is called... it's okay, I understand. The Velen wine. Do you know Elvish?
But not.
Then you'll have to look it up yourself. It comes from my home. It was one of 3 things that was good about home.
Fair enough. Are you running
What
from
about...
something?
Oh, no, it is my turn for questions. There are so many questions.
Harsh but fair.
Jesus Christ.
We're just like, can we tell if you're not
You Narrett need to go. I want to like mom arm you and be like, Mister, he asked you a question and you're ignoring it.
We're not even.
Let them have their moment!
I'm invested. Gosh darn it!
It is my turn for questions. It is, you said you are also from far away. Where is that?
I forgot the name of my hometown. I have to look up a map. I'm Harrow, right.
Is your hometown.
Jesus.
You did a song!
I know. I know. I have a bad brain.
I hope that's how that actually happens. They'd be like, I don't remember.
No,
I seem to have completely forgotten. No.
I'm from anywhere you want me to do.
Yeah.
He said it
Yeah,
in Miles' voice.
very
like that.
intentionally.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Have you spent much time across the Larbeck Ocean in Jortenia?
It has been some time. But I have been there.
From a small town called Harrow. Well, there's very little to do there anyway, but drink and sing, and I'm okay with doing one of I have. In the past, it's happened.
Perhaps it will be payment for what I teach you at the Lodestone.
It's entirely possible.
Someone will be singing tonight.
Some gold would also be good, but
Yeah.
I am joking.
He's a prostitute.
That is your turn.
Do you have any plans for the festival tonight?
No.
I've never been to Stead this time of year. I would love.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'd love if you could show me around the festival, show me what there is to see.
I suppose. I could do so. Will your friends be joining us?
Yes.
You see shadows at the door.
I hope not. I could probably get away from them. I have a few tricks up my sleeve.
No, your friends are fine.
Your boots.
It wasn't a loaded question. It was merely clarification.
We haven't actually talked about it as a group, so I'm not sure if they have plans for the evening. But
If they do, they are welcome. I will show you around the festival. Boy.
I've certainly been called worse. Take another drink.
What other things have you been called? He takes one.
The least favorite thing I've ever been called was the boy hero.
Oh.
Yeah, I failed my will save on that one.
Oh
I
no!
blame the alcohol.
You got loosened up real fast.
Yeah. Just something from an old song back in Britannia. Doubt you'd have heard of it. It's only been going around for the last year or so.
I'm so sorry. I have to pee so bad. Can I just run and do that
Yeah,
real
you
quick?
can go pee.
Okay, sorry. It's just like, I can't.
The bladder waits for no man.
I know. Don't
That
stop, keep going.
is, I can understand that pain.
Yeah.
It seems like it weighs on you.
I mean, we all have our things, don't we?
Sweet.
Did you always want to do this? Have you always done this?
No.
To which?
No.
Fair enough.
At one time, I had a very stupid idea. That I could be that I could be more than what I was born into. And for a time it was correct.
I mean, there's still time.
If there's anything in this world I have an overabundance of, it is time. And the one person I loved sharing it with is gone.
So your brother. I'm sorry.
He was beautiful, strong, and well, I was quiet. And weak. So no, I have not always wanted to do this. And that's where we're gonna end tonight. We're gonna cap it there, and that's where we'll kind of pick up from the next time that we see you guys.
What kind of monkeys are we gonna buy?
So many!
I mean,
Opals and bononos.
that was kind of what was going in my head when I said it. I was like, oh shit.
I mean, the next session is the festival, man.
Yeah.
But you also know what
the
next one is?
festival.
It's the spooky one.
I
Spooky.
Spoopy Halloween.
hope it's one of those festivals where we're all doing masquerades. We're all doing.
Paper Faces
That
on
ain't me
parade.
I'm just gonna come in and trust in
It
only
was like
ballistics.
kind of how that sentence started. Thank you, everyone. And
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you for the cliffhanger.
Welcome.
But what happens next in the room?